Welcome to Watch, Review, Repeat. This is the podcast where two best friends discuss the latest in film and television and then do it all over again the following episode. My name is Colton Brown. Joining me is Andrew Meadows.
Vengeance. I am vengeance.
I'm vengeance. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, man. We got an episode tonight.
Man.
That's all I can say.
Do we have an episode on tap for the folks listening at home, at work, on their way to work, wherever the hell they are? They've got an episode to look forward to because we're talking about The Batman on episode 201. 201, yeah, how about that? Very exciting. A film I think that was highly anticipated for both of us. I think I listed it as one of my top two most anticipated of 2022 when we talked about our films and shows that we were looking forward to, or at least, looking to have come out in 2022. So yeah, it's a nice early in a year kind of present. I mean, I feel like we usually don't get this kind of goodie in March. You know what I mean? Like It feels really early. You got like a Black Panther. It came out in February of that year, but usually you got to wait till May or so before the real good ones start dropping. So now, to be fair, obviously this film was supposed to have come out a long time ago and was delayed into oblivion as many other projects were, but hey, it made its way into theaters and it's here now. And by God, did we have probably have a good time enjoying all 3 hours of it. I mean, I think it's safe to say that we had a good time and we're looking forward to talking about it, but we'll have some fuller thoughts, obviously, for everyone as we move forward into the episode. I did want to say I hope everyone enjoyed our special episode 200 where we talked about our 5 favorite television shows. Andrew and I had no crossover when it came to our official top 5s, so we recommended 10 total shows for everyone to check out. So get on that if you haven't already. There's lots of good TV that awaits. But yeah, in terms of The Batman, I have so many thoughts about the film. I'm very, very excited to talk about it. I also have quite a few fun facts on tap because I don't know if you do you have any fun facts or not?
I don't have any fun facts. It's all on you.
Oh, it's all on me. Okay. All right. Well, I could give 3 fun facts. Yeah, I'm going absolutely crazy. However, one is not the Batman related, and let me get that one out of the way first. It's a quick one, but it's a fun one. Unlike Batman, I broke my no-kill rule during the recording of the last episode. I murdered my keyboard. And that's one of my fun facts is my mechanical keyboard that had been with me, my faithful companion for I believe I looked it up about almost 5 years, almost 6 years, I think actually. I dumped a beer right on that bad boy and it got fried. Anna made a valiant effort to revitalize it. It's not the first time such a dilemma has occurred, but it was beyond salvation at this point. So I'd like to take a moment of silence for my old mechanical keyboard. All right, that's good enough.
No, I have as silent as I can get.
So I have a replacement, which is not as fancy, but it is a mechanical keyboard with blue switches. So I've got that tactile clickiness that is just oh so satisfying to feel and listen to. So
what'd you end up getting? What type of keyboard is it?
It's a Red Dragon. I don't know. It's got like custom blue switches. It's not the cherry blue switches, but it's okay. It's kind of their own version of it. It's not as nice. It doesn't have like the wrist rest or anything like that the other one did, but it does have the fancy full LED colors, and you can customize the settings and everything. And like there's like different presets. So there's one that's like a Christmas tree where it looks like different colored ornaments, and there's one that's like I think it's water drop where you hit a key and then it like radiates like colors from it as you type. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. So I spent not as much money as I probably could have, but I figured, hey, if there's a good chance that I dump beer on this thing again, I don't want to. Yeah, right. I don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on this sort of thing. So anyway, it's functional, and now I can type, and now everyone can hear clickety clackities in the background if I need to look anything up while we record. So that's very exciting for everyone listening. Now, my other two fun facts for the Batman, I'll try to go through those relatively quickly as well. I actually had one to start, and then I saw another one. I was like, I kind of feel like I have to talk about that. So I'll start with what the Batman once was, because you may recall that Ben Affleck was Bruce Wayne / Batman and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, as well as Justice League, as well as Zack Snyder's Justice League, as well as Suicide Squad. And he at one point was set to write, direct, and star in a film called The Batman. Following on to the Snyderverse at that point, and he wrote a script. And I think it was deep into pre-production. At a certain point, he basically said, "I can't do this anymore." I think he himself was in a not great place in his personal life, and I think that's kind of partially why he decided to step aside. But that film, as it was originally written, was going to feature Deathstroke as the villain, and it was going to be principally set at Arkham Asylum. So Deathstroke would have orchestrated a breakout at Arkham, and then there would have been some confrontations in there with villains, and eventually with Deathstroke, and Batgirl was also apparently going to appear and help Batman, and so that's kind of what it was going to be at one point under Ben Affleck's writing and direction. We did not get that, obviously. I think we got a very, very different version of Batman, a reboot of Batman with Robert Pattinson taking over the role. But it's interesting to think about, a world in which we got Ben Affleck's continuation of Batman. I'm of the opinion that Ben Affleck was not a bad Batman. He was just a victim of being in some shitty films that did him no favors, I think, overall. But, if this is what it took for him to get his personal life back on track, then I think he made the correct call to better himself instead of, going off the deep end, trying to make this fucking Batman film and maybe fucking it up because his heart's not in it, or, he's just not in the right headspace to do something like that. So my last fun fact, which
I have a fun fact.
I looked it up. You felt like you were being a little left out. Is that what was happening? Is that what's going on?
I remember something I was very passionate about, and now there's answers
something passionate.
to it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's probably not my last fun fact then. So let's hear it. What do you have now?
Okay. So when they first released pictures of this movie, and then the trailer and everything else, I've been hyped as fuck about the Batmobile.
Yes.
And we have answers. We know what type of car it is now. So it is
okay. Yeah. What is it?
It's a heavily modified 1969 Dodge Charger. There's a lot of other portions to it, but the base is a 69 Charger. The engine that's in the back, it is a rear-mounted Triton V10, which they put in motorhomes and stuff. They used it in 3/4-ton trucks, 1-ton trucks, and then they put it in like motorhomes. It's an older Ford motor. The drivetrain on one of the Batmobiles, there were 4 vehicles made for the movie. The drivetrain in one of them was a Tesla drivetrain. They used the battery real high quick output, almost like a jet engine, right? So like if you put a booster on the back and slam it, those Tesla engines, they're 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. So they're fast as hell. Let's see here. I was actively looking it up. Of course, it's got lifted suspension. You can see that. I mean, it's got a lot of travel whenever it jumps in the air and it lands on the interstate or whatever. But yeah, 69. It's a 69 Charger with a Triton V10 engine in the back and Tesla drivetrain. It's badass. It's very cool.
It's very badass, and it feels functional. I mean, obviously, like the Tumbler was like hyper functional in terms of like how it was in the film.
Fucking tank.
Right, exactly. But this one, to me, I think particularly as compared to like, say, like the Burtonverse Batmobile, like that one, anytime you saw it on screen, always looked like it was driving 30 miles an hour.
That's right.
Because that's as fast as it could go. They couldn't build the thing to go faster. Yeah, especially when they got into the Schumacher era, like this shit's just flapping around. Like it's just cheap garbage looking thing. Like the design is cool, but they're not functional. They're not as practical. This Batmobile feels like it could fucking torch you in a race. You know what I mean? Like it feels like a vehicle built for speed and mobility, and you know, and obviously that's
and running through concrete barriers. It's bad.
Yeah. You know, it sounds like a mean fucking car. And obviously it sounds like based around a mean fucking car as a base, and then throw a not quite a jet engine, obviously, but you know, the same sort of vibes. Yeah, I mean that's some badass shit right there. And it has a moment in the film to shine. Let's tease that right now. So we'll talk about the Batmobile later. My last fun fact that I have, which again pertains to the film proper, as it was actually made by Matt Reeves. There's a very famous actor in this film who's completely unrecognizable. His name is Colin Farrell. He plays the Penguin. He is buried under pounds and pounds of prosthetics and everything, and it looks good. It's no Ridley Scott bullshit. Let's put it out right now. Like, he looks like a completely different fucking person, but more importantly, he looks like a real person. I think, heavily scarred and and everything, but he looks like a real person. It doesn't look like, oh, that's a fake man. That's not Kevin Spacey in that one fucking trailer with Mark Wahlberg. Like, he looks like a real man.
Right. And it's really cool too, because you can, like in the trailers and stuff. Did we see him in the trailers?
We did, because there were snippets of there's like the chase sequence, which again tying into the Batmobile, which involves the Penguin. We saw snippets of him in that, and maybe a little bit outside of that, but that was mostly it. I feel like
in like the marketing materials, he was you couldn't really recognize him and everything else. You don't really recognize him until he really starts to emote, and then you can see it in his eyes.
And the eyes particularly, like that's kind of the one feature I think they really didn't change around him, which is good, because I think
that exactly. It's how you.
That's key to an actor is if you mess with their eyes, then that's a big acting challenge to overcome that.
Especially
so you let him emote through his eyes.
You can't emote your face or anything else. I thought the makeup was incredible.
It was really, really well done. But I bring it up not only just to say that Colin Farrell is in this movie, in case you didn't realize it, but they actually tested it out to see if people would recognize Colin Farrell under this makeup, and they sent him out to Starbucks when they were filming, so he could just order and see if people recognized him, and not a single person recognized him. He got some strange looks because he's got a scarred visage, but
right.
He's all fucked up looking, you know what I mean? But like no one's recognizing
he's
him
literally a Batman
as Colin
villain
Farrell
walking around.
So that's pretty funny, and sounds like the makeup stuff took about 6 or 8 hours a day, which is crazy, man.
Brutal.
And I think that the thing with a lot of these like big prosthetics, and like obviously, like anytime there's like an alien character in like a Marvel film, like they're usually like Dave Bautista, for example, as Drax, like they're just buried in it, or even going more old school, Rebecca Romaine as Mystique, like they're just covered in pounds and pounds of makeup and prosthetics. Those processes get better, I think, when like they start and you're like, oh shit, this takes like 6 to 8 hours, and usually they can get it down to like a science and get it done in like 2-3 hours, but like they're still sitting in a chair for 2-3 hours at like the peak of like when they know what they're doing. Like that's dedication to a role, Sure. It's just crazy. So I don't know. Anyway,
I'd have to tell him, listen, I got to keep the fucking makeup on me until we're done shooting.
Yeah, I'll just sleep in it. Give me some touch-ups in the morning. Like, my face is going to break out because of all this shit all over it, and I'm sweating underneath it, but fuck it, man. Same thing if I was Pattinson, I'd just be like, I'll just keep the bat suit on all the time, thanks.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But we have to film a scene as Bruce Wayne. I'll just put it on over the bat suit. It's fine.
Just live the role. That's what you're gonna do.
And also, I'll take it home with me. No big deal.
I need to practice my lines when I'm at home. I need the suit.
So yeah, I think we've covered it with 4 fun facts in total, 1 non-Batman related and 3 very much Batman related. What do you think? You think that covers it adequately?
We're good.
We're good on the fun fact front. So that brings us to the news front. Obviously, we didn't do news on our last episode because it was episode 200, and we were having a very special good time doing other things. So it's been a little while since we talked about news, and unfortunately, we went too long between recording regular episodes, and now we are confronted with yet another death of a celebrity. So William Hurt, age 71, has passed away. Just a week before his 72nd birthday. Past few years, he has been struggling with a terminal diagnosis of prostate cancer, which apparently had spread to his bone. So pretty intense diagnosis that I think, makes sense that obviously it progressed to this point, but it's very, very sad for him nonetheless. An Oscar-winning actor for Kiss of the Spider Woman. Also, I think he was nominated for Children of a Lesser God in the 80s, and then, more recently, maybe for us, yes, we think of him as Thunderbolt Ross and The Incredible Hulk, Civil War, and I don't know any other appearances. Black Widow, I think, most recently. So yeah, it's a sad loss. I think in terms of the acting community, I would be remiss to not mention some allegations that have been out about him in the past and actually came out even since his passing. It sounds like he was unfortunately physically abusive towards some of his romantic partners, which is obviously a huge bummer. I don't need to sit here and talk about how this guy sucked or whatever. Like, he's a great actor. You know what I mean? Like, you can't dispute that he's a great actor, but obviously you can still be a good actor and maybe not be a perfect person,
right?
Shall we say? You know what I mean? So it really sucks. But yeah, I think Marlee Matlin, who she wrote, I believe, in her memoir about the abuse that she suffered when she, I believe they were dating for a time. I think they met on Children of a Lesser God when she was quite a bit younger, if I recall correctly. And yes, there was an allegation of rape that she made as well. So, it's not easy to talk about, it's not fun to talk about, but it's certainly worth mentioning, that this, I think, is ultimately part of his legacy as well, is you can appreciate his roles and his acting, but you can still at the same time acknowledge, obviously, that he did some terrible things, obviously, while he was still with us too. So it's a
I had no
thing.
idea about any of that.
And it's interesting because I do feel like it kind of really went under the radar. So you're really not alone in that. It wasn't heavily publicized even when her memoir came out.
Even as a Marvel MCU actor, you think that he would be crucified just because of his association with Disney and Marvel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is.
Maybe that's why you didn't hear about it.
I don't know. I don't know what the reason is for why this kind of didn't really. This is why I don't know. It is interesting that it kind of just went uncovered. I mean, he was obviously in Hulk a while back, and I think that the allegations, the stuff that Marlee Matlin wrote about came out after that. But then he comes back for Civil War, and he comes back for Black Widow, and it's not like it's not a known quantity at that point. They can't just be like, well, we didn't know about any of this. It's kind of just like, all right, someone somewhere just decided, I'm not going to believe her or whatever. This isn't getting enough backlash. I don't know.
Those allegations come from a relationship from the 80s or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, I don't know. It's like, oh, he's a better person now. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It is interesting that it just, obviously in a Me Too era where most of these allegations have career repercussions and big repercussions because they should. You know what I mean? Like, it is interesting that this is one that really kind of flew under the radar, and I think is now coming to light even more so since his passing. So I'll leave it at that. I think, like I said, you can still appreciate his performances if you choose to do so, but it's still okay to also acknowledge that he did some seriously hurtful things in his life, from what we understand. So yeah, William Hurt is dead at age 71. So let's move on. let's move on to some other things, some more fun things, I certainly hope. And let's talk about some more release date shenanigans. I thought, God, we were just,
I thought we were past
over
this. Shit. Yeah.
Thought we were past this. COVID's over, I'm told. But apparently not. No, I don't know if this is specifically COVID related. I don't, it may be more production related for these things, but Warner Brothers has decided to shuffle a lot of release dates for their upcoming movies. Most affected, I think, are their upcoming DC film slate. Now, I think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of funny because I don't know if it happened when you watched the Batman, but there was they included like the world needs superheroes in 2022 with their upcoming film slate. Which included the Batman, Black Adam, The Flash, and Aquaman 2. And then suddenly, I'm now reporting, as has been relayed to me from Variety. Oh, just kidding. Half of those movies aren't actually coming out this year anymore. So it turns out the world does not need heroes in 2022. It needs some of them in 2023, and then some of them can hang around in 2022. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So here's what's going on. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and The Flash have both been delayed to 2023. Okay, here we go. So it is COVID-related. COVID-induced production delays. So it's not so much about the impact on theaters, so much as the impact on the production schedule and working on visual effects and stuff like that. So that's the official reason for why those are getting bumped. So Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is now March 2023, which is only a bump of about 4 months, which isn't too bad. Flash has a bigger bump, moving from November 4th, 2022, all the way to June 23rd of 2023. So we're going to wait until quite literally next summer for the Flash to make its way into theaters, which for the Flash movie is par for the course. It's how these things go, apparently, because that movie, I'm still not convinced they've actually filmed the whole thing, but maybe it's going to come out next year. We'll see. Black Adam has also been pushed, but just later in 2022, so it's now coming out in October. I believe it was July that it was originally set to come out. And DC League of Super Pets, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well, has been moved to July 29th of 2022, which actually, okay, here we go. So that was apparently Black Adam's original date. So they've kind of moved things around a little bit. It was supposed to come out in May, now that one's July, and then Black Adam's now back in October. However, I think one piece of good news, as far as the DC stuff is concerned, is that Shazam! Fury of the Gods has actually moved into 2022. They've bumped it up from June 2023 to December 12th of 2022. So we'll be getting Shazam sequel in time for Christmas. It is on the same date that Avatar 2 is coming out, so it's going to get swallowed alive. But hey, what are you gonna do? We'll see both of them, I'm sure. So yeah, that's exciting. And non-DC related news, Wonka, starring Timothée Chalamet, is being moved from March 2023 to December 2023. And Meg 2, The Trench, starring Jason Statham, will swim into theaters on August 4th of 2023.
Excellent.
So there you have it. Warner Brothers has made some moves. So fine is kind of how I feel about it. We'll still be getting 3 DC superhero films in 2022. I'm more excited for Shazam than probably any of the others anyway. So if we're getting that sooner, I feel like that's kind of a win. But fine.
Right on.
It really, to me, it really is just like, maybe don't put your fucking TV promo world needs heroes things right in front of the Batman if you're gonna
keep it at your DC event.
Right. Actually, just kidding. We were fucking lied about all that. We don't know what we're doing. It just feels like they don't know what they're doing. But if it makes the films better, if it makes the effects look better, do what you got to do. Fine. I can wait for Aquaman 2. I can wait for The Flash. I'll catch them when they come out. I'm not dying to see them. They're not like the Batman in terms of anticipation levels, shall we say. So that's what's going on there. That's what I have to say on that front.
All right.
And I think that brings us finally to some proper news. So let's talk about Star Trek. particularly, let's talk about a Star Trek film sequel, which is apparently coming. A sequel to the Star Trek film trilogy with Chris Pine. So
directed
Star
by
Trek Into
Quentin
Darkness.
Tarantino?
No, and beyond, and not directed by Quentin Tarantino. It appears that the Tarantino Star Trek is not moving forward in any capacity. But this is going to be a fourth film in the Chris Pineverse of Star Trek with the kind of the original cast members, the recast members of the original series characters. So Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Simon Pegg, Carl Urban, Zoe Saldana, and John Cho, all apparently back for a Star Trek 4, which will be directed by Matt Shackman, who was the director of WandaVision.
Okay.
And it's going to be apparently shooting by the end of the year, bringing back all the cast members, due for a December 2023 theatrical release, or at least that's what Paramount claims. Interestingly enough, they announced all this, and then like a week later, there were some quotes from all the actors being like, "Huh? What? I didn't sign on to this." So it's really, really bizarre. Where like, are you under contract for this? I don't think I signed anything. Did you? Did you sign something? Have they called you? They didn't call me. Paramount basically just announced a Star Trek 4 without actually signing the original cast to do it. Which I have to imagine puts them in a really shitty negotiating tactic to be like, you already announced this. You got to pay me $50 million now. And be like, oh shit, I guess we do, don't we?
Surely the actors just had to like reread their contract.
I don't know what the exact specifics are.
Surely,
but I mean,
like maybe it's like Paramount said, "Hey, do you guys want to do a sequel? You guys ready to film a sequel to the Star Trek?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, no, we're done. That ship sailed. I'm going to be working on other projects, but thank you." Surprise! Fuck you. We got you locked in on another contract. and then they announce it.
One would presume that they have something that they're basing this on. To be fair, this was an announcement that was made to investors, so it could very much have just been like oh shit, we got to give them something, to excite them and make them, want to give us money. And then if they give us the money, then we can in turn just give that to the actors and be like, look, $50 million, my dude. $50 million, Mr. Pine. Won't you be Kirk for us once more?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, because once upon a time they were going to do a Star Trek 4 where it was going to be Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth and like a time travel bullshit with dad and son, and then that one didn't happen because
excellent.
there were contractual disputes and basically like, you're not paying us enough for this shit. So it's like, are they paying them enough for this shit now? I don't know.
Well, if they're not, they can pay me. I'll take it.
I'll be in it.
I'll be Kirk. I'll be whoever you want.
You'll be Kirk. I'll be I don't know, who should I be? I was gonna say I could be Spock, but
I'd actually like to be I'd like to be the beam me up Scott. I'd be Scott.
Scotty. I was gonna say, you know what? Make me Scotty. I can do a piss poor Scottish accent, I bet. So I can certainly have a crack.
And you could pay me a fucking fraction. It'll be a deal. Deal of a lifetime.
Yeah, I'll take a cool $1 million. That's fine. You can afford that. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with this. Maybe Star Trek 4. I hope it happens. I would love to see more with the cast and doing more in that universe. I really and I enjoyed all three of them. I think they're all three very different films with some ebbs and flows in terms of quality, but I just think that they're a really good cast with great chemistry, and I like the Star Wars ification of the Star Trek franchise. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but they've been good blockbuster films that have been enjoyable for someone like me who's not a diehard Trekkie. So I'd be happy to watch more, is what I would say about that. So anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see if they sign on the dotted line, if the dollar amount is high enough anyway. So moving on. Christopher Nolan director Christopher Nolan gave us a first look at Cillian Murphy in his upcoming film Oppenheimer, in which he's a man with a hat and a cigarette, and he still looks like Cillian Murphy, unsurprisingly. So the only reason I actually really included this is not because there's a black and white image of Cillian Murphy with a hat and a cigarette, but because we've talked about this before, like kind of in the early stages of the casting. But the cast of this film at this point now, where I think it's filming, like, it's fucking insane. It's like Dune level of shit, with like the amount of crazy talented people on board. So I kind of just felt like this would be a good opportunity to just rattle them off, because we did that probably like 5 or 6 times. Every time we talked about Dune, we'd be like, this shit's got Timmy in it, it's got Zendaya in it, it's got Jason Momoa in it, it's got Brolin and fucking Stellan Skarsgård and fucking, and Rebecca Ferguson. Every time we talked about it, we just had to give the full cast list. So I feel like Oppenheimer's now going to be the running torch, the torch bearer for that sort of thing of just, holy shit, this person's in it. Oh my God. So here we go. I don't think you're ready for it, but I hope you're ready for it. Are you ready for it?
I am. My body is ready.
All right. So let's find out if you're actually ready. So we've got Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh shit.
Florence Pugh.
No way.
Rami Malek, Benny Safdie, Josh Hartnett, Dane DeHaan, Jack Quaid, Matthew Modine, Alden Ehrenreich, Michael Angarano, Kenneth Branagh,
no,
Jason Clarke. That might be it for probably the big names. But I didn't name like half of this fucking cast list. There is going to be a serious fucking film in terms of all the people in it. But there's some big names in it, and it's quite impressive, I must say. And
Oppenheimer's the guy that made the atomic bomb. Is that right?
That's correct. He's the man who made some major contributions towards the Manhattan Project, developing the atomic bomb, and it's going to be directed by Christopher Nolan. It's going to be also written by Christopher Nolan. It's based off of a book apparently called American Prometheus. And cinematography will be done by Hoyt van Hoytema, who worked with him on Tenet, also worked with him on Dunkirk and Interstellar, also worked on Ad Astra and Spectre and Her and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. And it's going to have a score by Ludwig Göransson.
No way!
So just like, fuck off.
Are you for real?
Just like, what is this film? What is this film?
Oh my God. Now, see, but it's interesting, though. It's about a scientist that makes the atomic bomb. So it's not like a high it's not like a high action thing where you have like.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I guess you could incorporate World War II into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
To give it a little bit more action-y aspects, but one would think it's more about a man, a biopic, and more about the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Chernobyl. Maybe a Chernobyl kind of thing.
Yeah, something more akin to that. Yeah, I would imagine, just based on the subject matter. I would think anyway. So, a little bit more quiet for Christopher Nolan compared to his more bombastic films that he's done recently.
For the past, 2 decades?
And Dunkirk. But yeah, everything's been kind of an action-packed thing. Like, I don't know, I guess just quickly looking, I feel like Interstellar is probably the most, like...
That's true. But even still...
thing that he's done. But even still, that's different. That's still different. It's sci-fi,
I mean, we're talking...
space and shit.
We're talking the fucking one with what's-his-face?
Prestige, maybe?
Yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah, Prestige or...
Memento.
Memento, that's the one I'm thinking of. Or the one... what's the one that's black and white and he follows people around all over the place?
Following? That's going back to the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, but all of his other stuff has always been... I mean, besides Memento, Following, and... really,
Dark Knight on, it's been some level of action. You know what I mean? That's really been the driving force. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what he does with it. I think it's a good. I'm excited because I feel like he I mean, he's Christopher Nolan. Obviously, he's an accomplished, incredible director. But I'm more excited to see him do something that's not mind-bending action Tenet-y style. And like Tenet was fucking cool, don't get me wrong, but this feels more like, oh man, this could be really, really fucking good.
It's going to be like, refined, is what it's going to be.
Why is that bullet traveling that direction, and why is the car driving in reverse? I don't.
No, it's
what's
just
happening in
be
this third act?
A simple, refined story. It's actually going to probably be absolutely fucking incredible.
Yeah, it just feels like it's building to that. This cast, Christopher Nolan, the subject matter, it just feels like it could be really, really compelling. So I'm very excited for it.
On a side note, did he just make a movie? Did Nolan just make a movie, or did someone else just make a movie about their childhood? Was it Kenneth? It was Kenneth Branagh, wasn't it?
Belfast, yeah.
Belfast. I have to watch.
Which is one we should watch. Yeah, that's a good one.
Maybe I'll get out of here and watch this when we're done. So I'm just not going to play my video game at all.
You gotta play it. You gotta play it at some point.
All right,
let's move on. So you have time to do things after we record. 2 more pieces of news, then we'll get some trailers as well. Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan are teaming up to make a sequel to I Am Legend.
Jesus
Who
Christ.
saw this fucking thing coming? When did that movie come out? That was like 15 years ago, right? Like pretty close to that.
Who the fuck wants it? Like, I don't want the sequel. I need you to remake it properly. I'd be interested in a proper remake.
Wait, and it's like they've had 3 cracks at adapting the novel, right? And I feel like they've kind of been sometimes successful in different ways, but none of them have really quite captured what the novel, sought out to do. And
the novel was so good. Like, the novel was absolutely incredible. I read it a long time ago, but
probably close to when this fucking film came out, which was 2007. Indeed, it was 15 years ago. Close to. Came out late 2007, so not quite there. But yeah, this, I don't know. I did not care for this film when it came out, and I don't know that I've seen it since. But it is
fucking
kind of just
terrible.
like
it's awful. It's an awful movie.
It's been 15 years. It's like all right, like what's a sequel gonna do? Like, is it a totally original story? I don't know. It's interesting to me. I'm a little thrown by it, in terms of the announcement. Like, I like Will Smith. I like Michael B. Jordan. Like that's all well and good. But it does feel like a weird move to do it so much later on now.
And it's infuriating because the movie that they're basing it off of completely missed the whole point of the whole book.
Yeah.
Completely dismissed the mark. They made a zombie movie out of it. It's not a zombie movie. Times changed, and the homeboy was stuck in the past. He's out killing people, and he becomes the monster. Like, it's a really, really compelling story. And the movie just went over everyone. It went over everyone's head. It actively pissed me off when I watched it. Hated it with a passion. And now we're getting a sequel. I am not happy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I just, again, having not seen it probably since it came out, I remember 2 things about it. I remember, first of all, the CGI in it was fucking horrendous, even at the time. I mean, it just looked awful, like unfinished, bad, like Scorpion King level of bad. But for the time, not quite as bad as Scorpion King and The Mummy 2, but like basically that tier of quality for 2007. And so I remember that still sticks out in my brain of just, these vampire zombie things just looking horrendous. But I also remember the ending just being absolute fucking dog shit. Like there's like cool pieces of like Will Smith like exploring like this abandoned world, and he's got a dog and all that. But then by the time it got to the end, I just remember being like, wow, this is all terrible. I don't know if I could specifically articulate why I think it's that bad, because it's now been nearly 15 years since I've seen it. But I just remember hating everything about the ending. So this is not an announcement that gets me super jazzed, I guess, much like you, it sounds like.
Not super jazzed about it, huh?
Like, I don't know. I mean, I like the two actors. Maybe I can give it a chance based on them alone. Maybe it's pretty detached from.
I thought Will Smith died at the end of it, if I remember right. Didn't that bomb? Didn't this grenade go off?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess not. If he's around, unless he's around in flashback. I don't know. Maybe it's something we need to reconsider, rewatch at some point. However, I will say that I won't do that until this sequel apparently is very close to coming out in theaters. That's when I'll revisit it and be like, oh yeah, this didn't need a sequel. I was correct, or something like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Did he die at the end?
I thought he launched like the grenade.
I think you're right.
Off.
Didn't he steal him? I don't.
I thought he blew up the grenade to give the girl and the kid the time to escape.
Right. Well, I guess he. Yeah, no, that is what happened. But I guess he survived or whatever. So.
Okay, that's cool.
There's also apparently an alternate ending, I think, in which he survives. So maybe they're just like, actually the theatrical ending is dumb, and we're going to change the whole thing and just make a sequel to the alternate ending. That would be kind of interesting. I hope they do
fucking
that.
Is this a DC property? Oh, fuck.
I think it's WB, so it's not far off. All right, last piece of news. Maybe this one is more exciting for you. We'll see. I'll run it past you. Fede Alvarez, you would know as the director of the Evil Dead reboot, however you want to classify it, and director of Don't Breathe as well, is going to be writing and directing a standalone Alien film over at 20th Century Studios, of course, obviously within the Alien franchise, which Ridley Scott has now twice tried to ruin. So it seems like they're getting away from Ridley Scott ruining his own franchise and giving it to some new blood. So what do you think about that?
As long as Ridley Scott, who's producing it,
he is producing it. You are correct. Scott-free banner. He's going to be producing it.
As long as he fucking stays hands off, I think it's in very capable hands. Alvarez is an incredibly talented guy. It's actually a shit like let me just go ahead and search him real quick.
I feel like he's produced a lot of stuff lately because like Don't Breathe got a sequel for some fucking reason, and then there was the Don't Cancel Me Bro Texas Chainsaw on Netflix, which I believe he was involved in some capacity.
I think that's why I was excited about that, but then I heard it was shit.
I don't think it got very good reviews. But he didn't. I don't think he wrote it. I don't think
he actually did.
So.
He did write it. Story by.
Okay. Story. I was all right. So he didn't write the script. He just said there's a story in which I just watched Halloween 2018, and we're going to do that for Texas Chainsaw. That's my story.
He did write Don't
Make
Breathe
a script
though.
Out of it.
And Don't Breathe was written very well. It was good.
The first one was good. I don't know why they made a sequel. It's just that's not a film that needs a sequel. All right. I'm just I don't think that's a crazy hot take, but.
He did the screenplay for The Girl in the Spider's Web.
Yeah, okay. I never saw that one.
I never saw it either.
Yeah, okay.
But directing, right. Let's see what he's got for directing. He directed The Girl in the Spider Web.
Yeah, still didn't see it. I mean, I feel like it was probably fine. I don't know. It was a weird thing where it's just like they're not doing the continuation of the Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara, version of the Lisbeth Salander stuff. So it's like a weird. Why does this movie exist kind of space that it was made in?
Either way, Evil Dead is absolutely fucking.
Look, we could go back to Evil Dead. When I wrote it in the script, I put it as Evil Dead director, and I did that very specifically and purposefully because I thought that would excite you the most. And I think that film shows his potential as director for sure.
Could you imagine instead of demons, it's a fucking alien?
Yeah. I mean. Make it a straight horror film in the vein of the original. Like, that's clearly his.
Can he dial in the sci-fi stuff? That's the question. Can he make a sci-fi movie? I mean, it's science fiction horror. Can he do it?
Right. It's futuristic and space and stuff. I mean, yeah. I mean, how do you... What I will say is...
Instead of the cabin, make a spaceship.
Evil Dead shared a lot of sensibilities with its obviously, predecessor with the Sam Raimi one, but it was still really fucking different and stood on its own 2 feet, I think, at the same time.
So does he just branch out and just essentially remake and is he remaking it because he's so passionate about it? Is that why he chose to remake Evil Dead?
I don't think this is a remake per se, but I just mean that like even when he is remaking something, like he still made it feel fresh and interesting and exciting. So even if he's just relying on same old alien tropes, that could be good. That could be good in a new setting with new characters and stuff like that. Like do enough to make it interesting and fresh. But even if it is hitting on some of the same old beats, like that, it may not feel like a retread. Like a lot of remakes and reboots tend to do is just like, okay, they're just riding on the coattails of what came before.
And we never got a straight up horror Alien sequel. We got an action sequel. You know what I mean?
We got a totally different sequel, and then we got, I don't know, a prison drama-ish thing in Alien 3, and then whatever the fuck Resurrection was, and then shitty AVP films, and then even maybe not even shittier, but also shitty, Prometheus and Covenant, which felt like they could have had really, really cool ideas at play, but they just Ridley Scotted it,
Yeah.
So, look, I think if you go back to the horror roots for Alien, there's endless potential there. Even if you are, again, using some of the same kind of ideas that have come before, there's a way to do it and make it feel fresh because it's now been probably 40 fucking years or, however long, 30 plus years since that original came out. Like, it's been a long time since we've had a proper, true, horrific take on Alien. And I think if he does something like that, that could be pretty cool. And I think he's got the chops to do something like that. So
absolutely fucking terrifying.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for out of it, so anyway, hopefully it's entertaining if nothing else. But yeah, any other thoughts on that?
Very excited.
Okay. All right. Let's get into some trailers. We got a few good trailers to talk about. Let's start with Bullet Train, the next film from David Leitch, director of Deadpool 2 and Atomic Blonde. Brad Pitt's on a train, and he's maybe an assassin. I think he's an assassin, but he seemed not as confident as I expected a Brad Pitt assassin to be.
No,
he's
he played it
going up against some far more confident assassins.
We got to burn after reading Assassin.
Yeah. He's a bit more bumbling, it seems like. What do you think about this trailer?
Looks like a lot of fun. I'm pretty happy about it, I think.
Okay.
It looks like a cool concept, It looks simple enough, so when you have a simple concept or you have simple settings, like you don't have globe trotting and you don't have to, you make your setting like Snowpiercer did. If it's on a train, and your settings progress as, it just feels so much more intimate, like this is like in the trailer, it says this is the quiet car, so we got to be quiet, which is, it's fun, it's fun to see how those characters interact in the quiet room. But each section of the train is gonna embody a completely different environment, and I think that's it's a really cool concept. I think it's a good work on not really world building, but just building your sets and making them feel different, even though they're still on a train. It's a really cool exercise, I think. I think when done really well, I think it can be very compelling. I think it has an incredible cast, and I'm pretty high on it. I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Brad Pitt rarely fails us. I mean, as a starting point.
Brad Pitt's an all-time favorite.
He always brings it himself, if nothing else. So that's obviously something going for this film. I will say, I don't know what I expected, I guess, when I walked in watching the trailer, but what I got from the trailer was not what I was expecting. Just the tone and feel of it felt, I don't know, it felt different than what I expected. The concept is basically there's a bunch of assassins on a train, and they're all trying to accomplish the same goal. And I guess I thought it would be more brutal for some reason, but it's a bit more jokey, I think, overall, and more fun and entertaining than anything else. which is fine. I think I just have to adjust my expectations accordingly. I like Brad Pitt, obviously. I think it's a neat concept that, with some slick action sequences, which is kind of what you can expect from David Leitch, then it could be a fun, kind of bombastic 2-hour thrill ride, which is kind of what I'm getting out of it from the trailer at this point. So yeah, I'm in without being like super pumped or super excited or super jazzed. I think it could be a fun movie. So July 15th we'll be getting Bullet Train. And I think that's about all I have on it. What about you?
That's it. No, I said a good piece on that one.
Yes, you did. All right. Well, we got a very brief trailer for DC League of Super Pets. I told you it would come back around. The Batman trailer, which played in front of my screening of the Batman. I don't know if it played in front of yours. In which we got our first look at, or our first listen, perhaps, at Keanu Reeves as Batman in this animated film. I feel like we talked about the trailer for this probably whenever the teaser or trailer, the first thing that came out, and I feel like it was like, okay, fine. Does that seem accurate?
Yeah.
So how does this make you more excited?
Man, it's got a. I'm not excited about it. I will recognize it has a fun cast.
Sure, you got The Rock, you got Keanu, you got Kevin Hart.
I will say that I think the interactions between The Rock and Kevin Hart, they're hilarious, they're fun, they have an excellent chemistry. But I think I'm curious to see if that chemistry actually just translates into their voice, because I would argue
you're
that
actually seeing them here.
Yeah, I would argue that it probably doesn't translate as well as it does in live action. The two of those two guys together is absolutely fucking hysterical. They're awesome. You can watch interviews with them, and they're just you could just tell, man, that they enjoy being in each other's company. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you'll get that same chemistry in animated form. So we'll see.
Probably depends on whether they're recording their lines in the same booth. Which they're probably not, because that's not how these things work typically. But I'm ambivalent on this. I never asked for it. I think it looks charming enough for what the concept is. I
looks
will
well
say
animated.
This, yeah, for sure. This trailer is the one that actually, I'm just like, all right, Keanu Reeves is fucking Batman. All right, that's actually pretty awesome. I really enjoy this, and just his kind of monotone take on him.
His dryness, yeah,
the dryness. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. I think that's going to work really well. I think it's going to be a good source of humor. Keanu's a funny fucking dude when you let him be. I think he's not a good Shakespearean sort of actor, but he's got charm, and so you let Keanu be charming and you let him have fun. I think he's having fun with this. Obviously in like a different spin on that. Like in John Wick, he's having fun in a different way. He's not being goofy or anything like that, but he's having fun with the role and he's like enjoying it, and kind of in his limited acting range there. This to me feels like it's in his limited acting range. And so when you let Keanu operate within his confines, he excels. He's like really, really good and entertaining and a really fun addition to any cast. So I'll see this. I'll see it. I'm more excited to see it because of Keanu playing Batman, is what I would say about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not excited for it, but I'm more excited than I was. So I'm at, we'll see what happens. I don't know if I really want to see it in theaters. I mean, I probably will because I'm sure it's only coming out in theaters or whatever, but
you live 4 minutes from a fucking theater, which is bullshit.
That makes it easier, to see things. So can't complain too much about that.
Can't complain about that, yeah.
No, I cannot. But anyway, that's what I got on DC League of Super Pets, which is, as I stated previously, now dropping in late July. So we got a few months before we'll maybe enjoy it. But we've got two big boys on tap trailer wise to finish out the news section. We got two trailers that will merit further discussion, shall we say? And we'll start with Obi-Wan Kenobi. which we got a teaser trailer for heading to Disney Plus on May 25th.
Oh my god! It's oh my god! Right after we get back from Puerto Rico.
That's true. Bachelor's weekend, and then it's Obi-Wan Kenobi time. So, what did you think about this teaser trailer? Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a whole lot.
So, what is it about it that you enjoyed?
I enjoy Ewan McGregor a lot. I think he's
very good. He's very good.
I think he is a incredible. I think he's an incredible Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I think I like Obi-Wan Kenobi as a character. I like Obi-Wan Kenobi as a character so much. He is an awesome character. He's just a really good fucking dude. He's a good dude. And he's not so up his own ass like some of the other Jedi. You know what I mean? Like he just even if it's not like okay, it might be against the Jedi code, but it's not right. Like he's just a guy, and he's a good guy, and he's a good character. He's awesome. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it's a really cool. I've always been with Star Wars. I've always been an advocate. Give me something new. Give me something fresh. Let's not explore the same shit that's been told over and over and over again with the same characters over and over and over again. But I'm willing to turn a blind eye to this. It's Ewan McGregor playing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The man did everything that he could to save the prequels. Let's hopefully give him some new, actual good material and let him enjoy it, so...
Yeah. And it's a cool take, right? Like, he's protecting the... He's protecting the presence of Luke Skywalker, which is a huge...
fucking Luke Skywalker. Obviously we know that ultimately he will be just fine and he will be successful in protecting Luke and surviving the series. But hey, man, there's a whole lot of shenanigans that can happen between episode 3 and episode 4.
And it really shows, it really, really gives a depth to the character in a way that's really interesting, right? Because he spends these years on Tatooine protecting Luke, only to get chopped in half by his dad.
Yeah.
It's
his
brutal.
Former apprentice, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal. It's so brutal. Anyways, there's some you get some. Apparently, the crutch of the story is the Inquisitors are after Force users. The Inquisitors are present in Star Wars Rebels.
Yep.
Yes, Star Wars Rebels, and they're present in the video game.
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. And this one's got a lot of the interesting discussion becomes the design of the Grand Inquisitor, which is a particular. He has an established appearance, right? Like in episode whatever, like his species has been seen in live action before. And he looks just a little different in this.
A bit more humanoid, not quite as alien as we'd seen with that species before. So what are your thoughts on the look? Are you displeased, or is it kind of whatever for you?
It's kind of whatever because he's a fucking alien. And we've seen two of these aliens in live action before, right? So people look different. They have different shaped heads.
Yeah. So just to jump in, I'm with you on this. He doesn't look like his animated counterpart. And and there was an argument about Cad Bane not looking quite right from his translation into Boba Fett. There's not all of the characters make the leap from animation to live action quite right. And then on the flip side, people are like, well, fucking Sir Christopher Lee didn't look like fucking Count Dooku did in Clone Wars. So he's fucking ridiculous and angry.
Nobody looks like fucking Count Dooku. Nobody looks like Palpatine.
So obviously there's a stylization that goes with all of this territory of animated versus live action. But you've seen previous examples of this species in episode 3. So you kind of know, all right, this is kind of what he should look like. But I agree with you in the sense that like, yeah, well, some people have really tall fucking heads and some people have some squat fucking heads, and they cast an actor who I think has a pretty squat face, and it's not he's not an unattractive man or anything like that. It's just that he doesn't look like an alien with a fucking long ass head like some of these do. So instead of choosing to just put prosthetics to artificially extend his head, they're just like, we're just gonna make him different color. We'll throw some of the fucking line things on him, and he's got the eyes and the markings.
To be fair, the animated version of his character didn't have an enormously tall head like the live action.
Not quite as
did.
Exaggerated as we saw the live action, but certainly taller than this guy's head is. And it's like, I don't know. I get it at a certain point.
Christopher Lee had a tall fucking head.
Yeah.
Or not the Christopher Lee animated version had a tall fucking head.
Yeah. It's not going to look identical unless you're doing it as a mocap CGI character or something like that, where you're really, really trying to make it look one-to-one. Here, it seems like they just made a concerted decision of just being like, we would rather have this. We're casting this actor for a reason. It's not the same actor that voiced him in the cartoons, but we like this guy. We're going to cast him for a reason, and we're going to do the best we can with what this guy looks like.
And he's got a bone-chilling voice in the trailer.
And he's got great narration, so it's like I don't know. I guess
let the man do his job.
Have a little fucking faith, and the creators, and let them kind of execute their vision. If I'm gonna lodge one complaint, it's that I think that he should have the yellow eyes instead of having kind of human colored eyes.
Right.
I think that would help bring the look together more as being like, oh yeah, that's the Grand Inquisitor. Right.
Maybe his eyes turn yellow at a certain point.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do, because presumably this takes place before Rebels.
Maybe he fights Obi-Wan Kenobi and his eyes kind of turn yellow.
He gets fucking pissed.
He embraces the dark side.
Maybe they do something along those lines. And
my biggest complaint is maybe the way they chose to make I think he's brother 2, the other Inquisitor, the one that
the hat guy Inquisitor,
fifth
brother, maybe, I don't know,
maybe it's fifth brother, I don't know. He definitely looks a little different. They all look different. I don't really have a.
They're not one-to-one translations. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's fair to say they don't look like they did in Rebels, but it's cool that we're getting them in live action, is it not?
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think that's the cooler thing about this trailer. Like I don't want to get stuck in a 20-minute conversation about well, they should have done this, they should have done that. They're fucking putting Inquisitors in live action. They're putting Inquisitors up against Ewan McGregor reprising his role as Obi-Wan.
It's an inclusion of all the content, man. It's cool.
It's fucking cool. And I love that they have this kind of synergy between animation and live action in terms of the storytelling, even if it's not the design, sensibilities. It's cool. I think it's really cool how they've done it, and I'm excited to see Kenobi square up against fucking Inquisitors, and and we don't see him ignite a lightsaber or anything like that, but
is it before or after he fights Maul?
I don't know. I assume before, because I feel like he looks a little closer to Sir Alec Guinness in Rebels at that point.
When he fights Maul.
Whereas here he's an aged Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he's not quite as Tatooine son, twin son aged as he is by the time A New Hope arrives.
A fucking planet's brutal.
He's going to have to age rapidly at a certain point. It's going to hit him. It's going to hit him hard.
At least it's consistent with all the characters in the castings, right? I've seen a couple of memes about it. Those sons are fucking hard.
They're brutal. They'll fuck you up real quick. They'll look at them for too long. Your face will age 10 years in a day. Your hair too. It'll all turn white. But yeah, I think this is probably. I think they said, if I can't remember, I think it's either 5 or 10 years after Sith, Revenge of the Sith, because Hayden Christensen's back. We didn't really see him in the trailer, but he's back as Darth Vader.
And if he's back as Darth Vader 5 years after the Sith, that's got to be in line with the comic books. Maybe you get a brutal, super strong Vader in those early years of Vader. So I'm curious to see what we see in Vader of live action, because in the comic books he's just he wrecks shit. Like you see why everybody's scared of Darth Vader.
Yeah. I hope we see full on imposing Rogue One-esque Vader yet again. Making a live action appearance. I think that's great. But what I'll say overall is I'm really looking forward to it. It feels, I don't know what it is, something about the trailer. Maybe it was just cheating by using Duel of the Fates and stuff. But like, it just, to me, this just feels like more quintessential Star Wars than Boba Fett did.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like Ewan McGregor. It's exciting to see him come back. And it's exciting to see this period of time between episodes 3 and 4 get filled out a little bit more. I don't know. So it just feels like a lot of factors that are working in its favor. The cinematography look like great, and just this idea of the Inquisitors being brought into live action and hunting Jedi and getting on the trail of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it feels like it's not just Obi-Wan sitting on Tatooine watching Luke. It feels like it has a bigger purpose, and presumably it'll build back into the point where it's just like, all right, I've done something now. I've had my adventures. Let me settle back in and keep a watchful eye over Luke. Like, that's kind of what it feels like to me. And I hope
it's a space western of him protecting, keeping everybody away from this moisture. What do they call it? A moisture farm or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, real excited about it. It's right around the corner.
It is indeed, yeah, May 25th. Couple months it'll start up, so that's very exciting. So Obi-Wan Kenobi, we're looking forward to it. And one last trailer, something we're also very much looking forward to: The Boys. Season 3 drops June 3rd. We got a Redband teaser trailer, set to the tunes of one Imagine Dragons, but that's a good teaser. It's a good teaser, I thought. What did you think?
Everyone explodes. Lots of exploding bodies.
There's lots of it's a Redband teaser trailer for a reason. But it looks like more of The Boys. Like
it does. Yeah.
You got Billy maybe with fucking laser eyes. What's going on?
Yeah, he's got powers now. What's that all about?
I don't know. Is that for realsies? Is that a dream? I don't know. I don't want to. I want to know if it's a misdirect.
You got the Deep having sex with somebody and looking at looking at an octopus
or a squid or something looking. There's just glimpses, and just a Homelander smile or something here and there.
Looks great. I'm excited about it.
God, it's just such a good show. I'm so excited.
Have you watched any of the animated one yet?
I haven't. Have you?
I watched the first episode.
Okay.
There was no dialogue in it, and it was like in the style of like a Tom and Jerry kind of thing. I appreciated what they were going for. It was actually directed or written or something by Seth Rogen.
Right. I think I saw that somewhere.
But I didn't immediately queue up the second episode. But it was like, it's an interesting. It's just cool that it's being made. I'll just say that. So I'll watch the second one eventually, but I didn't immediately queue it up. I'll put it like that.
I mean, season 3 is the big deal, right? When it comes back, then you're I'm in. Queuing it up as fast as you possibly can. Something like that. Like, all right, I'll take it. I'll watch it eventually. But season 3, when it comes, like, we're on it. As soon as the season wraps up, we're recording an episode on that because we've watched it the whole time. Is kind of how I envision it.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I think it's a great, stylish, lots of people exploding kind of trailer, which is just the perfect thing for The Boys. I don't need anything to sell me on it, but it did nonetheless make me more excited just because it's just like, oh shit, we're getting footage. It's close. It's only a few months away.
And I think you caught The Boys. You were into The Boys a full year before I was into The Boys, weren't you?
I was. I think you caught up by the time season 2 had either wrapped up or been close to wrapping up. So you had 2 seasons that you were able to burn through, and now you've had to grind out with the rest of us.
What a recommendation. Was The Boys part of my top 10 or my top television shows?
it was mentioned, but it didn't crack your top 5, if that's what you're asking.
Nah.
But to be fair, I mean, at least I had qualifications of not putting
Being
shows
done.
that were
That's right.
currently
That's
airing
right.
because of Game of Thrones destroying our fucking lives and ruining expectations and all that good stuff. So yeah, Boys is coming back June 3rd, and we much look forward to it.
It starts right before my wedding.
Oh, yeah.
So I know what I'll be watching on flights to California, cruise ships to Alaska.
Indeed.
I'll be The Boys.
Very, very exciting. All right, well, that does it for the news. You ready to talk The Batman?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to talk about this.
So The Batman was released in theaters exclusively, but it will be on HBO Max come April 19th, apparently. So 45 days-ish after its theatrical release, people will be able to enjoy it. It's got a ways from when we're recording, to be fair. So check it out in theaters if you have any interest. It was written by Matt Reeves and Peter Craig, directed by Matt Reeves, stars Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, Peter Sarsgaard, Andy Serkis, and Colin Farrell. In The Batman, when the Riddler, a sadistic serial killer, begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement in it. You want to do a box office breakdown real quick?
Yeah, it's a good place to start.
All right, well, let's do it then.
Wah, 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 wah.
Those are your best hockey horns yet. Box office breakdown. The Batman's doing very well. Very, very well, you might say. It has soared past $500 million at the global box office as of recording. And its debut weekend domestically, it scored $134 million, which marks the second best pandemic era opening, obviously following Spider-Man No Way Home, which was just a normal opening in normal times for in terms of the numbers. But very good overall. It's had very good legs thus far. And it's doing very well for itself, both domestically and abroad. I think it had a budget of close to $200 million, so it's doing well. I think it's in good position to turn a profit. Maybe we'll get a sequel. Maybe we'll get a couple sequels. Who's to say? But I think Warner Brothers has to be very pleased with the results that they're getting from The Batman. It's the best Warner Brothers opening during the pandemic era by a wide margin. Granted, it's one of the few that hasn't simultaneously released with HBO Max, but at the same time, it's fucking Batman. You expect a Batman movie to do well.
That puts people in seats.
And people showed up. People have shown up for the Batman. I've had a couple screenings. Yes, that's right. I've seen it twice.
Wow.
And it's been very busy both times. So I saw it opening night, and I saw it about a week or so later, maybe like 6 days later, I think. I think we went on like a Tuesday or Wednesday following the opening Thursday night. So it's in my limited experience been pretty busy. You've seen it. How recently would you say you saw it? Was it about a week ago or so at this point? A little less?
I saw it a week. I saw it on Sunday, so it's Friday, so less than a week.
So a little under a week. So we I'm going off a couple of viewings. You've seen it once, but a few days ago at this point.
Yeah.
But I think, is it fair to say that you remember enough about this movie that you can have a good conversation about it?
I think so. Yeah, there's one moment in particular I'm real excited to talk about.
All right, well, we'll get there. So what do you think, non-spoiler wise, what's your take on The Batman?
So my take's on The Batman. This is a 3-hour tour, if it were in Gilligan's terms. This is a 3-hour Batman marathon. This feels like it could have been a 4-part miniseries on HBO Max. But in movie form, it does feel good, right? Like I liked it. It's got distinct parts, I would say. It definitely has distinct parts. The pacing is very distinct. I think that let me just start with like the technical stuff. So I think that the score is incredible. I bought the score on Mondo release, like sight unseen before I saw the movie, just because I thought it was going to be.
It's a good purchase.
It is. It's an incredible score.
I too have pre-ordered the Mondo vinyl, so yeah, very excited about that.
Yes, good score. Not good score, incredible score. It's excellent. It's very good. It's one of those scores yeah, it just really sets the mood for the movie.
It does.
One thing that I really appreciate about this movie versus any other Batman, like, so if we're comparing like Batman movies like in a vacuum, what it is to be a Batman movie, this Batman movie we've never seen before. We've never seen a Batman movie like this. There are moments of Bruce Wayne, but this is not a Bruce Wayne movie. And it's really interesting because those moments are few and far. They're fleeting. Oftentimes what happens in a Batman movie is they want to try to explain the duality of Batman and Bruce Wayne and what that's like and how he grapples with that. This movie's not concerned with that. This movie is very much just a Batman movie. There is a man behind the suit. His name is Bruce Wayne, and you get a little bit of it, like in the third part of the movie or the last act of the movie. But for the large portion of this movie, this is a crime drama, is what it is. And the person exploring the crime happens to be the Caped Crusader. And we've never seen anything like it before. It's very different.
Not quite yet world's greatest detective, but he's getting there. He's getting
there. Exactly. And he's a pretty solid detective. I mean, he was able to find out what the fuck was going on, just maybe a little bit late.
Solid. He's a solid detective. He's just not the world's greatest yet.
That's it. But I appreciated the dynamic, right? Like, it was really cool. We got something. David Fincher. What's his directorial accolades? Like, what has he done? What's his big shits?
Zodiac.
That's a good one. Did he do the box
on the TV side?
Did you do Seven Sins?
Or not Seven? He did Seven. Yes, he did Seven. As well.
Okay. Yeah.
To the box.
Yes, it feels like one of his movies.
It's definitely got some strong Fincher-esque aspects to it of a hardcore crime drama with the serial killer, basically, and
it's perfect.
Unraveling the scheme,
It's perfect. Like in that regard, it's perfect. Like, if you were to put a cop in the place of Batman, it would have been equally entertaining. You know what I mean?
It would have been entertaining. I don't know if it would have been equally entertaining because.
Oh yeah, you don't get the Batmobile. I guess
he's a goddamn Batman.
That's true.
So there's the heightened aspects of
it would have turned into like a police brutality kind of movie is what it would have had the tone of that. But
yeah, maybe
if it's Batman, we're okay. It's okay. So I enjoyed the dynamic of having a different kind of Batman movie, having a detective or crime action drama, whatever.
Right, and even more so than The Dark Knight, which also obviously has those aspects of a crime drama. This one is just, it's like hard-boiled noir type.
Bingo, yeah. It's much more low-key, right? It's not like, I've got cell phones, I'm going to pinpoint everybody's cell phone and create a radar of the city to find out what... It's not doing that. It's just straight up...
Let me solve a riddle and then plot out a clue based on that and
it's fucking
and rinse
cool.
Repeat.
Like, it drips noir, right? Like, down to his suit. His suit is like...
Suit?
The
narration?
collar.
There's narration,
Like, it felt very much like Watchmen with the narration. It felt like Rorschach.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was so cool. It was very cool. It dripped coolness. It is long. It's a long movie. It's not concerned with how long it takes to get you there.
Here's the question that ties into that, though.
Okay.
Is it poorly paced or is it just long?
No,
I think
it's just
I
long.
think there's a difference. You know, like
It's
you're
just
going to be
long.
there for nearly 3 hours. It's a question of, are you going to soak up and enjoy all 3 of those hours, or is it gonna be staring at your watch every 5 minutes, thinking, all right, when's this moving along? You know, so
I thought that it was an incredibly well paced movie up until I felt like they tied it together a little strange. Like I felt like it like it made a couple of little steps at the end, right? Like they did the jump and they did the flip and they made this awesome routine, and then when it came to stick the landing, maybe just took a couple steps. You know what I mean? Because it didn't feel like it was gonna. It felt like it ended, and then it felt like it kept going just a little bit longer.
Yeah,
which is
at the tail end, it does have a few kind of scenes extra that feel like, okay, all right. It's like, Lord of the Rings-esque in a certain way.
It's like, are we done here? How much longer? What are we doing here?
You get a closing narration, and then there's another 10 minutes. You're like, oh shit, okay, all right.
Right. So maybe that was edited a little poorly. I don't know. But it's a very minor quip with what otherwise is, I think, a wildly different take on Batman that we've seen in live action. Like we've seen it in comic books, and we've seen it in animated, animated medium.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people compare this more to Batman the Animated Series than in any other live action films, and I think that's true to a certain extent.
Yeah, sure.
Of kind of the interpretation of the character that they went for, which is cool. It makes it feel fresh and different. You know, we've seen so many iterations of Batman. Like you got to do something. You know, like let's think. I mean, just even thinking about our lifetimes, like we obviously grew up with the tail end of the Burtonverse with the Schumacher stuff with Forever and Batman and Robin, but like obviously like we like
our
that when
Batman
we were children, but our Batman is Christian Bale.
Yes, absolutely.
And
that's
so
our
then,
Batman.
So then Ben Affleck comes along and you're like, all right, fine.
Like it's an old like murderous Batman with a fucking machine gun.
You know,
that's not really Batman.
It's a different bent. You know, so it's like, okay, all right, you know, and I just think like, you know, like no one displaced Christian. Ben Affleck did not displace Christian Bale as our Batman, so to speak. But I think there's maybe room for Robert Pattinson to maybe take that.
Robert Pattinson could be my Batman.
You know, and I want him to have more movies, and I want a more grizzled and experienced Batman, you know, moving forward, where he's. You know,
I want to see him get there.
The experiences of the events of the Batman that get him to the point of being even more of the Batman. But I think he's a great fit for the role, and I just feel like this interpretation of the character is just really, really cool. To me, it's a really good kind of blend of grounded, gritty, realistic, which I think was really what Nolan strived for with the Dark Knight trilogy. Like it was very much like everything has to be explained, and like, you know, it's tech or it's some sort of prototype that they developed at Wayne Industries, and like, you know, all of it was like very much like tangible, realistic stuff where it felt real. This one has aspects of that, but it still feels a bit more comic booky, I think, in tone and feel. Like Batman himself almost feels more heightened than he ever did in the Nolan verse. But at the same time, like, you know, when it comes time to glide off a tall building, he's using some techie shit that is more grounded and realistic, and you know and
it doesn't spend any time explaining
everything.
It. Right?
Yeah, that's true. It's not concerned with, this is how this tech works, and this is where it comes from, and this is what it is, and these are the points. This is the motor that he's using for the Batmobile, but it's based off a 1969 Dodge Charger. Like it's none of that. It's like he just did this shit, man. It's fine. It's not a prototype of Wayne Industries. Like he just fucking did it off screen. He's the fucking Batman. You know, that's what he does. He's the Batman. You know,
it just drips coolness. It drips it like
It's like you look at that thing and you think, yeah, someone could have built that machine. You look at the bat suit, like, yeah, someone could have cobbled that together, and like, or like the, his grappling gun, which he loves, like, like he can be like,
he does use that grappling hook a couple times.
Like
it's pretty excellent.
So, like that's something someone could build, with a lot of money and some ingenuity. Like, it doesn't stretch the bounds of plausibility or imagination. But it also doesn't need to fill in every goddamn gap, every gap for you to be like, and then this is where this came from. So it's cool. I just think it feels like it. I think it's smart because this isn't like a 1-to-1 comparison or anything like that. But by the time we got Tom Holland's Spider-Man, there were certain aspects of that character where they're just like, you get it. We don't need to do it again. And this to me is just like, we're going to focus on aspects that haven't been done before in the same vein. And
we all know who Batman is.
He's gonna have a Batmobile. It doesn't matter where it came from.
And
he just has it.
The thing that's never been explored is if you're just a general audience person that happens to catch Batman movies, you don't know Batman is a fucking detective.
Right. That's one thing that we got I don't know, Bruce doing the gunshot test in The Dark Knight for 2 seconds, and then it's just oh yeah, here's the result. And it's just okay, fine. There's lip service kind of being done, but here it's boots on the ground, like a police
boots
detective
on
almost.
The fucking ground. Which brings me to my the next point.
Literal boots?
Literal boots on the fucking ground. Let me tell.
Don't.
Yes.
Don't.
It's the most terribly menacing fucking thing. Okay,
it's just so plotting every time he moves.
There's certain aspects of this movie, and maybe we'll get. I keep wanting to talk about this one scene from maybe it belongs in the spoilers, but you see it in the trailer. The trailer's centered around it.
How early in the film is it?
It's halfway through the movie.
All right, let's save it then. I was gonna say if it's his opening sequence, I'm all right, that wasn't the first fucking trailer we got 18 years ago. We can go there, but let's put it in your back pocket. I know it hurts.
Put it in my pocket. Put it in my back pocket. That's my. So I built all this shit in the man cave, listening to the Wolfpack live in Madison Square Garden. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways,
put it in my pocket. Put it in my pocket. My back pocket. In my back pocket.
Anyways,
whoa!
What a song! It's such a good song. Anyways, I think that this is. I really enjoy a lot of aspects of. Let me turn on this. Did you get similar vibes to Dark Knight with the way the Riddler was portraying himself?
No, not really. I think overall, I can see some similarities of, broadcasting it and sending it to the news stations.
And just as long hysterical, is
a little bit. I really in the moment, no, not so much. I feel like it was a pretty different take on it, not as theatrical almost. I feel like the Joker kind of had a theatricality and the Riddler had his own sort of theatricality, but it felt a little darker and more Zodiac-esque, in a certain sort of way where it's just...
Sure, as it should, right? He's the Riddler. He wasn't... I guess he's just playing a crazy dude. I guess probably crazy dude probably plays similar kind of... You get kind of similar vibes from crazy people.
I think the vibes are there. I don't disagree. I think overall, but it didn't feel like for instance, to use another Batman example, the last incarnation of the Riddler that we got in live action from one Jim Carrey to me that to me felt like he was just playing the Joker, and maybe even a riff on Jack Nicholson's Joker. You know what I mean? To be fair, every villain in that film was just also playing the Joker. But this one to me still, he felt like an authentic, out of his mind kind of serial killer. But I think that I think just the way that the plot developed in terms of, again, live casting to the news and like sending the messages and stuff like that, to me kind of felt like there was a little crossover with kind of like the Dark Knight. And the Dark Knight also had a lot of crime families, and you had Maroni in that one, and I think Falcone was more Batman Begins, but at the same time you had like the Chechen, like there was a lot of like crime family interactions and Batman busting up the mob and stuff like that. And this one kind of deals with some of the similar territories there, I think. So there's definitely some crossover,
which is
in that regard.
It's a huge aspect of Batman, right? Like
it's not like it's copying the Dark Knight. It's just that's a big part of the mythos, and they just kind of went in that direction again,
which is cool,
which makes sense, So
we haven't talked about it yet. So aside from like that one portion of the editing, which we've already talked about, but editing, cinematography, and coloring, which I think goes into editing, like just the way they chose to color the movie and the atmosphere that they set. Holy shit, the cinematography is fucking on point, dude. It's so good.
This is the most realized Gotham I think we've gotten in any
down to like
films. I mean,
down
like,
to like the fucking bars, like the bars.
Yeah, no, for sure. The iceberg lounge and all that, just it all. It's grimy. It feels like a shithole of a city, appropriately enough. But it feels like an actual city, and so that's kind of the distinguishing factor. From your Burtonverse, like you got that gothic Tim Burton thing, like that. That's like cool, but it doesn't feel like a real fucking place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, Batman Begins did a pretty good job with it, but then when you get into The Dark Knight and Rises, it feels like, oh, this is just Chicago or Pittsburgh. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it feels it feels like a real city, but it just feels like that city. This to me feels like a fictional shithole of a city. You know what I mean? In terms, like, it doesn't feel like it actually looks or looks and resembles other cities, but it doesn't just feel like, oh, they're just filming at this part of that one city.
Right.
It feels like it's got its own personality and griminess to it that makes it feel authentically Gotham, to the point where you're just like, yeah, there's a guy running around in a bat costume. That makes sense for this fucking place. It's part of the course almost.
This place is fucking crazy. Like, the window over the spot that got me, and you'll probably get it being that you watched the movie, but the Iceberg Lounge,
yeah,
that window that overlooks like the interstate or whatever it is, the freeway that's like right there. It's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It felt like a Star Wars moment. Like with where Luke busts the window open and he almost gets sucked out or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah, sure.
It just, that whole frame centered around that big window, and the cinematography is just on point, dude. It's so good.
It's really good. Greg Fraser is the cinematographer, and what are
his accolades?
His last film before this one, you want to take a crack at it? It's a film we've talked about already on this episode.
We talked about it already?
We did. For its stellar cast. It was Dune. Dune was the last film he worked on before the Batman, so.
Oh, well, that, I guess.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, that explains a lot. It's a fucking beautiful movie. Dude knows how to work a camera, knows how to... He knows lighting. It's the lighting in this movie is impeccable. It's so good.
This film has impeccable production design. It's top notch shit. I mean,
through and through for 3 hours.
Through and through, anything. Whether it's the external shots of Gotham or it's the internal shots of Selina's apartment. It just, all of it is fucking incredible. Through and through. But especially when you're getting shots of Batman going about, or really anything, like the cinematography is just great. When you're getting these rain-soaked evenings of Batman, vengeance, striking, it just, oh man, it gives you chills. At least it gives me chills.
It really does. No, it gave me chills too. Yeah.
And to be fair, a large credit is that you get these visuals alongside
with that score,
Michael Giacchino's score. I mean, it's just, but it's the thing where you see the visuals and you think about the score, but I bet when that vinyl fucking comes out in however many months, because Mondo pre-orders that shit. When you drop the needle on that vinyl and then you start hearing it, you're gonna remember what you
see
saw.
it. Yes,
you're gonna see it in your head because they're intertwined. You know, the visuals and the audio of this film, like they're
That's a
just
beautiful thing
in
about a
sync
movie.
with each other.
Yeah.
It's really, really incredible stuff. Like just from a production standpoint, and that's obviously glossing over other aspects of this film and many other aspects of this film that work really, really well. But I think you can singularly focus on the technical aspects of this film and think, holy shit, there was some serious dedication and love that went into this thing.
The technical aspects of this movie make it, in my opinion, the best Batman movie we've ever had. Just the technical aspects alone.
I think it all really delivers on that front, and I think tonally speaking, it just, again, for me, I think it captures the most comic booky Batman without getting like silly with it or anything like that. Like it's deadly serious, you know what I mean? But it still feels comic booky.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a really, really hard thing to capture, but I think they did it here. And I like that because I fucking love comic book Batman. I want Long Halloween and, you know, and even like New 52, Year One's obviously very heavily influenced here, but I want that sort of tone to come through in a Batman. Like it doesn't, and this isn't a knock on the Dark Knight trilogy, but like those films were deliberately kind of non-comic booky in many ways. And like when they were comic booky, like say like the microwave emitter in Batman Begins, it felt kind of silly. You know, this to me has some aspects that are comic booky that maybe could play as silly in a hyper-realistic Nolan-esque kind of world, but they feel at home here, which is nice. It's appreciated. So it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. Anyway, I've just been kind of bouncing off your thoughts. What other thoughts do you have on the Batman?
We get fucking Catwoman in this. We haven't had Catwoman since the 90s.
Well, it's not entirely true. We did see her in The Dark Knight Rises, if you recall. But
oh yeah, that's what I say about that. So
it's a little bit more leaving more of an impact here. Would you say?
Yes. And
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz. I knew her first name was Zoe, and I knew that she's the daughter of.
She's the daughter of Lenny and Lisa Bonet.
American Woman. That guy. Yeah.
American Woman. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, she's pretty cool. She's a cool actress, and I think she's a cool Catwoman. She's a fabulous actress. I don't want to sell her short. I think she really nailed this role. I think she gave a lot of emotionality to the role. And it made her character feel so real.
Yeah.
And I think she was given a lot of material to work with. I think her character was really well written. And I think the way that she, you know, bounced back and forth between Batman, you know, and I just think there was a tremendous amount of chemistry between the two. I agree. I really don't like the chemistry between Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz is incredible. That's what I'll say. I think that the two are great. I think that the love interest between the two, much like other Batman movies, so it's not a big spoiler, I think it's done tactfully and masterfully in a way that we've never seen on screen before, and it makes it very, very compelling, considering the direction of both the characters and what they're aiming for in the movie. It was really cool. It was a really cool dynamic, and it really elevated the movie, like in a big way, right? Like you could have cut out the love, you could have cut out that interest, you could have cut that out. And you could have had a 2-hour movie instead of a 3-hour movie. But I think that the way that they were able to integrate that character, Catwoman, into the movie, I think it really elevated it in a huge way. So So I'm on board for that too. So I think other than that, though, that's my last thought.
That's where you're at. Well, it was interesting to me. I was going to give you some shit for not talking about Catwoman at all. It's just like, what's going on here? But you're saving it. I see now. So I remember Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman. I will co-sign. She was great. I think it was fantastic. I think maybe the best iteration of Catwoman we've seen in live action. I mean,
maybe Halle Berry. Maybe.
She's a tough contender. Those basketball scenes in Catwoman are legendary, after all. I mean, for a lot of people, people have a lot of fondness for Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, and she's memorable. Like,
she's
don't
memorable.
Get me wrong. She's memorable, but she's kind of just fucking insane. Like, it's kind of her shtick. And I don't mind Anne Hathaway. I think she's fine as Selina, but she's not really Catwoman at the same time either. And in The Dark Knight Rises, this to me feels like the first time where they've actually gotten Selina and the Catwoman characterization pretty accurate to kind of how she's, pretty traditionally depicted in the comics. And Zoe Kravitz is obviously, she's the one that's she's nailing it. You know what I mean?
She sold the shit out of that character.
She's great.
She's not a cutout character of an insane Catwoman person.
No,
you know what I
she's
mean?
not. There's a few jokes about cats and stuff here and there, but nothing that's like some in your face, like, like, I don't know, like, just fucking Michelle Pfeiffer gets literally like sort of fucking resurrected by cats after she falls out of a window. It's like all right, okay, you know what I mean? Like, that's not going on here. Like, this character owns cats and she makes a few cat jokes here and there because she's got a lot of cats. Like, all right, fine, like, we get it.
She's got the little things in her knapsack thing.
Yeah, and that's true of like this is year 2 Batman, where like he's Batman. Like, I mean, he's dressing like a bat. He's got a cape. He's got ears on his cowl, but he's not full-fledged badass. I know everything that I'm doing. Uber confident Batman. Like, he sucks at some things, and like he doesn't solve everything perfectly the first time around. You know what I mean? Like, he's got some room to grow. And the same thing I think is true of Selina, where she doesn't quite have a full-fledged Catwoman costume in terms of like she's dressing up as a cat. But her balaclava or whatever, like, has some cat-like ears on it. So it's close.
What'd you call that?
Balaclava? Ski mask?
A balaclava?
It's a ski mask with like just the eyes cut out. Well, like a monobrow cut out, basically.
I've never heard that word before. What a word.
Well, my problem is, and I may have done it already, I often confuse the word balaclava with baklava, which is a delicious delicacy. But I think I did get it right this time, so I think that's okay. But if I didn't, anyway, baklava is great. You guys should find some and enjoy some if you can. Perhaps while wearing a balaclava. I don't know, like, do what you want to do.
Balaclava. I need to look at... So a balaclava... I'm sorry.
Just look it up. Look it up while I talk and confirm that I know what the hell I'm talking about.
Balaclava. Balaclava. A close-fitting garment covering the whole head and neck except for parts of the face, typically made of wool.
It sounds right to me. What do you think?
We're going to search for Google. It sounds right. Yeah, it's a fucking...
It's a ski mask,
Ski
right?
mask. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
A balaclava.
There
Yes. Fucking excellent verbiage, dude. Good word.
Yeah.
Balaclava.
She's just, I think usually there's separation between your eyes, but she got rid of that, and then she's got some cat ears going on mostly. So, but anyway, I think it's a good proto Catwoman kind of design, and I think that the characterization of where she is, like, to me, the thing is, her inclusion in this film felt very natural in terms of like how they meet, how she gets kind of tied up and kind of the main thrust of the storyline, and how it comes to a resolution. Like, she's in and out of the plot, but when she's in and out of the plot, it makes sense because she's kind of on her own storyline that just happens to kind of dip in and out of Batman's storyline. Like, I think it's an interesting way of doing it. I think it's a really effective way of doing it that just feels right. It feels good, you know, because Batman, well, really Batman as we've traditionally seen him in
it's a very
film.
cute balaclava. Not to cut you off. It's a very cute looking balaclava.
Oh, yeah. Andrew's sending me some good pictures here. Very good, very good. Not quite Catwoman-esque, I wouldn't say, but
no,
definitely very cute. It's just cute. Yeah, it's very nice looking. Very, very nice. Batman's usually pretty sedentary. He's a lone wolf. He usually does his own thing. Whereas in the comics, like he pretends to be, but then he's got like Robin and Batgirl and Nightwing and fucking 8 other Robins, and you know, and like he definitely is a little bit more willing to have some help with them. And I think this one does a good job of him obviously being on kind of his own mission as the Batman, but when the opportunity arises to have help, he recruits help. And it's the same thing with Gordon. We haven't really talked about Gordon either. Same thing where like this Batman is someone that accepts help and works within that. And, you know, he's using people to his advantage, but he's not like a total dick about it. And obviously like there's chemistry between him and Selina that's palpable, I think, throughout the film. And it kind of develops as their storylines, you know, continue to intertwine. And it's interesting. It's just well done with the characterization of those two separately, but also together. It's good stuff. It's good writing is what it is. So you know, write a good movie and you know, it's going to be successful. What do you know? But I think you said that was it for you in terms of just thoughts for non-spoilers at least.
Yeah, that's all I got, really.
Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot to tack on, honestly. I think that between our back and forth, I think we've really hammered out a lot of, you know, everything that makes this movie. And what I'll say is as good as it is. You know what I mean? Like it's really fucking good. Yeah, it's 3 hours long. You're gonna be there for 3 hours, like I said, but it's a really fucking enjoyable 3 hours of time. And my assessment, like I ate up pretty much every second of this film. I just had a blast with it. The first time I watched it, actually, it was a very interesting experience for me. It's a long film. You know, you can't be faulted if you want to have a bathroom break in the middle. You know, you can't be faulted if 2 hours in and you've got an hour left and you're thinking, oh shit, I shouldn't have had that large Diet Coke or, you know, whatever. Like, fine, that happens. The first time I watched it, the fire alarm went off about an hour into the film. I was so engrossed. And mind you, I was with Anna at this point. We were both so engrossed that like for like 10 seconds maybe we thought, oh shit, this is part of the film. Like it was a scene in the Iceberg Lounge where I was just like, oh shit, there's an alarm going off in the Iceberg Lounge and they need to evacuate at this point. Oh, and then the lights come on and we're like, oh shit, no, this is actually not the movie. Like we were so sucked in an hour in that like when that happened, it was like so jarring. Like we're just like, oh shit, what do we do? Like what happens now? The film was able to restart. We were able to kind of watch it from that point. It was fine. We saw it again and there was no fire alarm the second time through. It worked as a really great built-in intermission / bathroom break for us. But I will say that even if you can muster the energy to stick through the 3 hours without killing your bladder, which is what I did the second time, was kind of sitting through it the second time. It rewards your attention. You know, it's something that the details are important to kind of follow. You know, it's, you know, this is the kind of film that you follow the clues and the details as they kind of get unveiled to you, which, you know, could make it less interesting a second time through. But I think there's enough detail and stuff that like when you watch it a second time through, you're picking up on things or enjoying things that maybe you didn't quite pick up on or see or fully comprehend the first time, especially if a fire alarm is interrupting it. That can be a little awkward to kind of get back into the flow of a film. But I enjoyed the hell out of all 3 hours. I really did. I think that it's just really well paced. I think it hits. I think that it's as long as it needs to be. I think overall, I mean, yeah, you could make it a 4-part miniseries. You could cut out aspects of the film, but I think you'd be making it a lesser film by doing so. So I'm glad that they kind of stuck to their guns and let Matt Reeves kind of do his thing, because Matt Reeves is the fucking dude. You know, I don't think we've talked about that enough. Matt Reeves is great.
He's the fucking dude. He's the man.
This is interesting because I feel like I don't remember what episode it was that we recorded, but I was just like, man, Matt Reeves hasn't fucking missed in his fucking directorial career.
Well, he didn't miss on this.
He did not miss on this, that's for sure. But dude has been working since like the 90s, and like he directed some shit in the 90s that I have no fucking clue what it is. Something Future Shock. He did some shitty fucking Steven Seagal film and some romantic comedy in 1996 with David Schwimmer and Gwyneth Paltrow and Toni Collette. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And I'm like, I don't know how the hell this dude gets from doing this shit in the 90s, but 2008 is like when like this dude catches fire for me. Cloverfield, and then 2010 he does Let Me In, which is the remake of Let the Right One In, which is a really good remake. And then the fucking second and third Apes films, Dawn and War, are like fucking fantastic, like really, really great films. And then lo and behold, now you get to the Batman. Like for me, Matt Reeves is just at least 2008 on, just in his fucking element. He knows what he wants to do with his films, and he knows how to do it, even more importantly. And so for this version of the Batman, like it's clear to me that Matt Reeves understands the Batman. He understands Catwoman. He understands like everything that goes into the mythos of Batman, like from a Gordon to like his relationship with police and, being a vigilante and like his, vengeance, just the personification of Batman as a fucking force to be reckoned with. Like, dude just nailed it in a way that no other director I think has really. And again, it's not, and we made a lot of comparisons to the other Batman films and other directors of Batman films, but like Christian Bale is still my Batman. Like Christopher Nolan's Batman is still my Batman. But this to me feels like, oh yeah, this is the kind of vision for Batman that just really fucking speaks to my core of just, it's just so fucking cool, man. It's just badass, and everything about it is.
It's cool.
It's so good.
You know what it is?
It's fucking cool. It really is cool in a way that. Go ahead.
This is, and it seems to me, and I've been holding on to it. I feel if I hold on to it anymore, I'm gonna forget about it.
Let it out.
It seems to me this is who's Dirty Harry? Is that Clint Eastwood?
Yeah. Yep.
This is the it's not Clint Eastwood. Who's the other guy? Who's the Duke?
The Duke?
The Duke. He's a Western guy. This Batman is a Western-style Batman. From the way he walks to the way he takes care of crime. There's one scene in particular that was straight up a Western. It felt like it was totally ripped out of a Western. The Duke. If I type in Duke, what's his name?
John Wayne?
John Wayne. It felt like he is justice. Like he is the Duke. I don't know if you have a lot of experience with John Wayne.
A little bit. Probably not as much as I, could have or should have.
You could also say what's his face? He's just he's a little bit more of a dick as he gets in his old age, I think. But you could say he's what's his God. Dirty Harry.
Clint Eastwood. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. You just said his name, so I was like, wait, are you going in a different direction here?
You could say he's Clint Eastwood, but it felt like very, like every time his boot steps, there's no shit at the end of his boot, right? I forget what they're called. I can't think of my words now. I've had
spurs.
One. Yeah, there's no spurs clinging every time he walks.
But it's the same sort of impact of just the thuds every time.
Boof.
Makes a very, very impactful step toward
justice is fucking here. Right? That's what it is. That's what it says.
Vengeance is here.
Vengeance is here. You've done a crime and vengeance is here. And it's here to collect. And it's fucking good. It's really good. It's really menacing. It's man, it's a strong Batman. Very strong Batman. That's all I got to say. I'll stop.
You're fine. I will say I really liked the plot. I really liked how it all developed. We'll flesh kind of obviously the specifics of that out in spoilers in just a few minutes, I promise. I think the only real thing that I want to say that isn't really just bouncing off of kind of the things you've said, obviously production design, music, cinematography, etc. The cast is stellar, and I know we've talked about obviously characters here and there, but I really think I want to say top to bottom, like really, really incredible. Robert Pattinson obviously is an actor who I think has gotten a lot more credit in his later career, post Harry Potter and post Twilight. As he's kind of gone to do more indie stuff. But this is kind of him getting back into obviously a very big, prominent role, that the public at large is going to see. But it's a very different shade of Robert Pattinson than maybe a lot of people have seen since he was Edward Cullen, for example. And he's fucking awesome. I loved him in this. I think he's an incredible Batman. He conveys so much through his eyes. There are scenes in this film where just his eyes are doing all of the acting, but I think he's got an impressive jawline, which is very, very appropriate for Batman, and that doesn't hurt. We'll say it doesn't hurt. In fact, it helps quite a bit. He just has a great look for the role. I love the bat suit in this as kind of a follow-on to that thought. You talked about it a little bit, like the collar, like with the cape, and I just think even like the leather kind of stitching and stuff of the cowl feels more like grounded and homemade than we've seen with some of the other Batmans. But it doesn't look like shitty. Like it still looks fucking cool and badass, and like the kind of armored torso looks good. It's kind of Arkham-esque and comes in handy throughout the film, we'll say. But he's just really fucking good. And even when he's Bruce Wayne, and this is a film that to echo your thoughts, it's very much a Batman film with a dash and a splash of Bruce Wayne throughout, where he's still just Batman. He's still good as Bruce Wayne, but this is a broken kind of Bruce Wayne who's not really leaning into the whole, like you said, duality of the character and the potential of the character to be both Bruce Wayne and Batman. He's Batman who is mostly Batman and occasionally just cosplaying as Bruce Wayne.
It's a second-year Batman. He's a second-year Batman.
He's all in on being just that. That's not whatever. Yeah, that's fine. It's early stages Batman. It's not literally picking up exactly when he first puts on the cowl. He's been doing it for a little while, but he's got a few things to learn, and he's gonna interact with people that will maybe be important to him down the line. So Zoe Kravitz, to echo your thoughts, she's a brilliant Catwoman. She's a great Selina. She's really, really good. I'm glad that they cast her. I mean, she's just really fucking good. Paul Dano is an incredible Riddler, who's very different from any live action iteration of the Riddler we've ever seen, but he's creepy and great in the way that, he has been in like something like Prisoners, for example. He's kind of got that same sort of energy here, but he's really fucking good. But my last three like standout performances, Jeffrey Wright, man. Jeffrey Wright is so good as Gordon.
Never talked about Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright is incredible.
He's so good.
He's so good.
He and the Batman, they're like partners basically. You know what I mean? We're like most of the police force is like, fuck this Batman asshole. Like, but Gordon is kind of the one cop who's just been like, give him a chance. He's like, I think they have really great chemistry together. We're like, they are kind of unofficial partners in a sort of way, but they kind of respect each other, and it's just a really good.
Well, they stand for the same thing. Right. That's the biggest thing.
Gordon's one of the few clean cops, and Batman's like, well, I'm not a cop, but like, I want to accomplish fucking shit and clean up the city, which is theoretically what, the police force should be doing. Not so much doing in this particular incarnation, but but it's good. It's really just they two have like a great like working professional chemistry, which is really.
He's
really
not
good.
a Commissioner Gordon yet, right? He's just a cop Gordon.
Yeah. He's a is he an officer? I don't even know if he's a detective yet. I don't even know if he's a detective, but he's basically a detective, lieutenant. I don't know. John Turturro as Falcone, really good, and kind of surprising for me because I think about John Turturro, I think about the Jesus, I think about the underwear guy from Transformers, and I don't really think about him as like some badass crime boss type thing. But I thought he was really chilling and like really good in this role.
Licking bowling balls is what you're saying.
yeah, basically. And last but not least, Colin Farrell's fucking transformation as Oz, as the Penguin. I thought he was hilarious frequently. Always entertaining. Yeah. Like he was a very over the top, kind of bombastic kind of character, but in a way that didn't take you out of the movie or feel like comic relief or like just kind of like a fucking just a lunatic. You know what I mean? Like just in terms of his characterization, it was just great. He was very, very fun, and welcomed presence anytime he was on screen. So yeah, I think look, there's probably many other nice things I could say about the Batman, but I think that we've kind of hit on the most salient points to talk about for the Batman. It's really fucking good. I think maybe that just bleeds into our recommendation. Do you have any other non-spoiler thoughts? Are we ready to issue a consensus recommendation for the Batman?
Yeah, I can issue my recommendation.
Okay, what is it? Tell me about it.
I think my recommendation for the Batman is a very yes. You need to know that this movie is long. It is a well-paced movie, but it's not an action-packed Batman. Like it's not concerned with just having those huge set pieces and everything else. So it's more of a crime drama than it is an action-packed Batman movie. But I do think it is a very yes movie. The production qualities alone set it apart from every other Batman made before it. It's an incredibly well-made movie that I think is elevated by the best screen and sound possible, for sure. There were things that I went and saw this with Sarah's dad.
Okay.
There was one particular part I can't entirely remember that he did not like, but he said he did not like it. But he was thoroughly impressed with Dolby Cinema, which I saw it in Dolby.
Yeah, I saw it in Dolby both times.
And I've seen a movie with IMAX. I've seen a movie in Limax with him. It wasn't completely IMAX, and he wasn't blown away by it, but he was definitely blown away by Dolby.
This is a film that takes full advantage of the format, I would say.
Yeah. So it was that was cool. But for me, it's definitely a very yes movie. Watch it in the biggest, loudest possible format.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's a very yes. I guess it's really the first film that we're covering for 2022, but it sets a very high bar, I think, for the year. I think this is a film that I'm going to watch again as it comes to HBO Max, as it comes to 4K. Like I'm going to revisit this film, and I have a feeling that I'm going to continue to enjoy it every time I do. Really, really, really compelling film. It's long, yeah. There's no getting around it, but I think it earns its runtime, and I think that it. It's just really well put together. I think in terms of the pacing and the plotting of it, that it's satisfying by the end. All right, maybe it ends 4 or 5 times, but like each of those endings is fine individually. It's just. All right, maybe at that point you're ready to say sayonara. But overall, I mean, I think it's just a really, really great film. Highly, highly recommend everyone see it in theaters. Yes, it'll be on HBO Max in a month or so. If you're comfortable stepping foot into a theater, I recommend that you do so. Dolby, if you can, if it's still in Dolby. I think that there haven't been a ton of huge releases that have displaced it from Dolby. So if you have an opportunity to see it still, definitely do it that way. Definitely do it that way. Prepare your butt. It will get rumbled quite a bit by some certain set pieces in this film. but in a good way. At least my Dolby. I don't know if they pumped the volume up like way up or some shit, but there were a few parts where it was bone rattling kind of shit. It was great. It was really fucking cool. And that's what I love about Dolby. I mean, well, that's one of the things I love about Dolby is the potential for that sort of impact. So, is it time? You want to do some spoilers?
We'll do spoilers.
All right. So we have a consensus very yes recommendation, and now it's time for full spoilers for The Batman. All right. Get it off your chest. You've been holding on to something about halfway through the film.
So there's a sequence there where Batman... we'll start with the Batmobile introduction.
Yeah. Ooh.
I had to slap Sarah's dad's seat. Like this. You see that fucking Batmobile? Like, I was so hyped up. It was the coolest fucking reveal for a Batmobile ever. I don't care.
It holds it back. He's not like casually riding around in it for most of the movie and then like, all right, let me like show off this thing. Like, you don't see it until that point.
No, you see it torn down. Like, he's got a tarp over his car.
Yeah, right.
You see like parts.
You never
and
see it in action until he puts it into action.
Exactly. And man, and it feels to me like Batman didn't know what that fucking car was capable of.
Yeah, I think he stalls it for a second.
Yeah, like he doesn't know. Like it's his year 2. He doesn't know, right? So he built this badass thing, and it feels like he's just enjoying the fuck out of this. Like it feels like Batman enjoying his toys. Like I'm gonna ram through concrete. I don't give a fuck. Like this thing's a beast. And when he finally stops the guy, right? His car flips over and all this shit. That's where you get the John Wayne sequence, or the I don't know if it's John Wayne or if it's what's his face, but
the slow approach, like as you're looking out through the crashed car window.
Yes,
it was like you're fucked. You're fucking going down.
It was straight. Like he even had like a holster for something on his hip. Like it was a straight up Western sequence of the slow approach. Boom, 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 boom. You know, and it was so cool. Yeah, so the whole Batman sequence and the end of that sequence was absolutely 145% my shit. That was so awesome. It was so cool.
It was fucking hype, is what it was. I mean,
yeah, it was. Like he's sitting there just revving up the engine, and whop, 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 whop. Like you got all the exhaust flying around, and everybody's fucking scared. They hear a jet. They hear a jet revving up.
What the fuck is that?
And then boom, boom, bop, bop, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Everybody's fucking terrified of that fucking car.
Well, and it's like coming off the heels of like Batman gets shot, he's on the ground, and they're like, "Oh, sweet, we took the Batman out," and then he's gone. And then I mean, I don't even want to do it. Like you just hear the fucking sounds. Like he's taking his opportunity to just get to the fucking Batmobile and say, "All right, fuck you guys. Like this is how it's gonna go down now." It's good. It's good. It's impactful too. You know, it's just.
And then when he sees that car jump and land through the fucking
the fire,
he knows.
He's like,
right?
I'm fucked.
Yeah. It was so gratifying. Like, it was so cool. I have some other awesome moments.
Go for it. Rattle them off.
All right. So awesome moments for the Batman. The first, like the whole intro monologue.
It's so good. I like the narration to me was fucking awesome. Like,
yeah, it was. It was so
I am the shadows. Oh fuck this guy. This guy's badass. He's writing in his journal.
Like you don't know who he's going after. He's going over the guy that
right,
like, robbed the convenience store guy. Yeah,
and there's the graffiti artists, and then there's the train guys. And goes after the
and they're all fucking scared. They're so scared.
Yeah, they're like they see the bat, they see the bat signal in the fucking sky, and they like shit their pants for a second. You're like, oh shit, okay, all right, I'm good.
And then he shows up at the subway.
But then he shows up, and he just thud, you know, just coming out, and we're like, oh shit, what is that? You know, and we saw a lot of that like in a trailer, but it was still such a fucking good intro for him, just beating the shit out of the one guy. I mean, he beats the hell out of all of them, but that one guy particularly, that guy's got brain damage at that point. You know what I mean? Like
atmospheric. It's so good.
It's so good. I said it already, but I just really like the way the bat suit looks. I think like the way that it's lit and everything, like just like the slow, like the profile even just like emerging from shadows. It's fucking Batman, man. Like, I don't know, like, and the way that he's swinging at people, like it just feels visceral. I mean, in a way that I think maybe and I'm vomiting in my mouth ever so slightly as I say this, to Zack Snyder's credit, his Batman was visceral. Like, you know, that warehouse scene in BVS, like he was going to town and beating the shit out of fucking people. Nolan's Batman never had a moment quite like that. The action was always fine in those movies. You know what I mean? Without like really seeing the brutality of like what a Batman can pull off.
Not on Batman's terms, right?
No,
you had the brutality with Bane, but you never had it with Batman.
Yeah, but no, Bane had it. You're right. That's actually a really good call. Like Bane had the sort of brutality in that film that like Batman should have had the entire time. You know, in a sort of way.
Batman is a fucking brutal hero.
Like and look, at this point, like we've all played the Arkham games. Like you think about the fucking freeform combat in that. Like to me, like I associate Batman with like the ability to just fucking handle 8 people, you know, in a group and just bounce back and forth with fluidity and kick their asses. And like you see a lot of that in this film. Like he fucks up, like he gets shot at, and he gets literally shot a few times, and it's like, yeah, he's not perfect, but you know he's got armor and shit for that. Like he'll be fine, you know. And like it's impactful. Again, I keep going back to that. It's impactful. Like just anytime there's an action beat in this film, like it feels visceral. It feels brutal. It feels like there's an actual fucking fight happening. You know?
Yeah.
And that first bit is prime.
So good.
Prime version of that. What else?
The end. Question. Does he take Venom?
Question. Oh yeah, no, that's a good question. Because, you know, presumably
he gets angry as fuck and
it's obviously some form of adrenaline, but it's green. So it makes you think. Like has Batman concocted a little juice for himself, you know, if he needs the extra push? I don't know. I think that it's at least something that could be worked into a precursor of a Venom, you know, if it came to that. Because he's definitely like, I mean, you saw that guy's face after they pull the mask off. You know what I mean? Like he fucking beat the. I mean, if he didn't get pulled off, that guy would not have a face anymore. Straight up.
No, he would have been done. He was pissed. He come off the ground, lit up like the 4th of July. Fucking screaming and just yelling. Batman in this movie is fucking visceral, dude. He's a real guy and he's fucking pissed. And it's but he's pissed, but he also shows levels of constraint, right? Like when he pulls Catwoman off. Don't cross this line. We're not going to cross this line. Now we'll beat somebody until they're stupid. But we're not going to cross the line.
That's okay. That's fine.
Right. You know?
Brain damage is okay. Death, that's
a whole nother line.
Hey, you know what? It's consistent to the comics. He's got the no-kill rule. Brain damage, A-okay. Anything else, it's over the line. You're a criminal, and now you're in my sights.
And that's okay for me.
But it's good. It's good that it shows where like Catwoman is just like, all right, well, that's your rule. Well, I mean, quite literally, Gordon at one point was just like, no guns. He's just like, that's your thing, dude. Like, I'm not you. Like, I'm gonna have a fucking gun on me. Like, you know. But Catwoman is like, you know, like they still have like a respect and obviously an affinity for one another. But like, she's just like, fuck this guy. You know, like my friend got killed, and this guy's at fault for that. Like, he was there when, like, you know, she got fucking kidnapped from our apartment. Like, that's a big deal. Like, I'm not gonna just let that slide. Like, I'm gonna kill this guy. Like, I'll push him off a building. I don't fucking care. And, like, you understand why she would do something like that.
Yeah.
At the same time, you understand why a Batman who is out to make a difference in Gotham and try to, you know, make the city a better place, you know, mostly his way of making the city a better place is beating the shit out of people, you know, but hit at the point he's just like, well, the city's not a better place if I just kill everyone in sight. You know what I mean? Like, the idea is to put the fear of God, but more accurately, the fear of the Batman in the hearts of all the criminals, to the point where
that's right.
They don't do the thing anymore. And obviously, like, I think the film makes a very concerted point, like, well, that's not enough. Like, that's not, like, people are still going to be bad. People are still going to do bad things. Like, they might shit their pants and get sort of hit by a car after they rob a convenience store, but they're still going to, like, have the money and run away and be fine. So there's something else you can do, you know, in place of just scaring the shit out of people, or at least some people, to the point where, like, all right, you beat the one guy and they're having a rough time, but the 5 other people that are getting away with their shit, like, all right, yeah, they're a little scared, but they're fine. So,
and that's the moral dilemma of Batman. You're right, exactly.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, and that's the central arc of this film, is going from pure vengeance and distilled, like, beatdowns to, wait, I think I guess I can inspire people in a way, because even the train sequence like really directly connects to that, where it's just like the guy that he saves is, like, still fucking terrified and just be like, don't hurt me,
please, don't hurt me. Yeah,
you know, and he's not like, I mean, he just walks away. He's just like, whatever, man, you know. But I think at the end you really see Batman trying to make a difference in people's lives and inspire hope and, like, try to be a superhero. Like, it's a really good arc, I think, in this film, from straight up terrorizing vigilante who's just gonna beat you to fucking half to death to, well, I guess I can do that, you know, when the threat arises, but also I can help people that are in need and make them feel like
it shows the evolution of the character.
Yeah, it's really, really great. I mean, this is jumping around, and there's plenty of other things that we can talk about in this film. But I feel like I've seen the third act be kind of maligned online, where, like, people are like, whatever, man. But I thought it was great to see.
It's like, what people are saying, whatever, on that third act, last act.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought seeing Batman more out of his element and more, like, thrust into a more urgent situation. You know, like,
he's never been to that point. He's never been put in a situation to, like, let me just help this person under this rubble.
Yeah, like, let me pull this fucking rebel out and take our mayor and our new mayor and people and the old mayor's kid and I thought that was excellent. I thought that was just really, really good. And I liked even the moments, like, you know, even building to the moments of the rescue. Like, I thought that was still all really well done. Like, the Riddler's, like, last, you know, kind of you know, cog in his plan, I guess, you know, of having his copycats go out there. Like, I mean, to me, honestly, it felt realistic, of just, you know, like, yeah, you can absolutely inspire crazies to just follow in your plan and do whatever the hell you say. Like, I mean, to me, it felt very realistic in terms of saying crazy shit on the internet, and then suddenly people listen and, like, are like, oh yeah, this is totally the truth, and, like, I'm following you, and, like, yeah, I'll bring some rifles and commit some mass murder. Okay, like, that's the sort of thing that feels not out of our bounds of reality. I mean, we've kind of seen that literally, of, you know, examples of people just firing on masses of people, and I think even, like, January 6th, like, just living off of bullshit, you know, like, feeding off that sort of thing. Like it felt like, I don't even know that it felt like it was, like, directly commentary on, like, political events in America recently, but to me it felt like realistic and almost scarier as like a this is totally a thing that could happen any given day. Is this guy killing people, and spouting off I mean, it wasn't really conspiracy theories. Like, there was no doubt. I mean, like, I think like the Riddler's like his central conceit is like all these people are corrupt and they're failing Gotham. And I think that's correct to a certain point. It doesn't justify killing them, obviously, but at a certain point, like the Riddler was kind of, you could see why people would sympathize with kind of his central mission of, okay, well, your mayor is just paid off by the mob, and the DA is working with the mob, and like all this shit just kind of comes back to this point where everyone is so fucking corrupt that the only way to get rid of this corruption is to get rid of these people. Like I understand why that inspires people, and people can understand that sort of motivation, but it did kind of feel like when it came to the third act, you're just getting like, people are just like, I just want to shoot people. This is what I want to do. Like that's kind of
just terrorist group. That's what it is.
You're right. Yeah. And it felt like, all right, we're like, okay, we're going to flood the fucking city, and we're going to have these people trapped in this fucking arena, and we're just going to pick them off one by one. Like, that's psycho level shit. You know what I mean?
And that's where exactly.
But it felt realistic. Like, it's like, yeah, that's the sort of mentality and behavior that I would expect people in real life to have, in like a similar set of circumstances. And so it was scary and effective and terrifying for kind of those reasons, I felt like. But I think taking it more than just like, this is scary because it's realistic, I think it was good because it in terms of the film itself, it means that Batman kind of failed in a certain sort of sense. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't quite solve all the clues. He didn't get the carpet thing because he's a rich boy and he doesn't understand what the carpet tool is
right,
and what it's supposed to do. And like, to be fair, I didn't either, so I guess I'm a rich boy too or whatever. But like, those are the little things where like Batman's not perfect. He's gonna miss things, and it's an opportunity for him to learn from his experiences. These are the sorts of things that as he kind of builds into being a better detective, to eventually, hopefully, becoming one day the world's greatest detective. Like, these are the things like he's not going to miss. He's not going to miss these details. But
did you hear a white privilege thing in this movie? Was there any lines about you being white and you don't know what I'm talking about because you're white?
I felt like Catwoman had some.
Did she? Because I totally didn't hear them. That's what pulled Sarah's dad out of this movie, was adding that race bit in there.
Okay. No, I mean, I'd have to rack my brain because, again, this goes back to the.
I totally didn't know. I know the class.
I think it was like her railing against like all of the power players in Gotham, like are white and like, are corrupt, and this is typical bullshit kind of thing. Like, I don't remember it being. I don't think it was like hugely focused on, but I do remember aspects of it where it's just. I mean, and to be fair, like looking at the cast list, like Zoe Kravitz is obviously a woman of color. The new mayor, the mayor-elect, she's a woman of color, but. Beyond that, I mean, well, Gordon too, but I mean, in terms of the corrupt people that are in this film that are directly depicted as corrupt, you've got the mayor who's a white guy. You've got who else gets targeted? The DA. DA's a white guy. The DA,
yeah. I think it's it because her dad's obviously the crime guy, and he's
also a white guy.
I'm solely asking because he said that was the part that detracted him from the movie. It felt like he was getting beat over the head with it, and I sincerely could not remember any sort of like race playing any.
That's the only thing that I can remember specifically is I couldn't even tell you what she says exactly, but I think it was something along those lines of, her kind of lashing out, which I think makes sense for her character in context anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
sure,
she's a character who I think, as I'm sure many probably impoverished people in Gotham would feel is, fuck these corrupt assholes. But more, for her more than most, like she's directly affected where she's in a relationship with this character who obviously has a connection to, was it the mayor? She has a connection to the mayor. There's these pictures of her that come out, and it's a big scandal or whatever. And so she's really kind of directly tethered to kind of this character and everything that kind of falls
like
out
it makes
from
sense within the
his
story.
murder.
Sure,
Yeah.
I have
look,
even if it does come up, I don't have a problem with it.
No,
You know
I know,
what I mean?
and yes, is it probably a meta commentary on American society? Yeah, probably. Right? Probably. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
at the very least, like the whole principle of fucking Batman and like what it is for him to be Batman is like a social commentary on like hierarchy of fucking social classes and shit.
yeah.
Like it happens.
Yeah.
Like it's what Batman is.
Yeah. I agree. Any other thoughts on the Batman?
It was awesome. It was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are your thoughts on the Batman. It was awesome, pretty cool.
It was awesome. It was really cool.
It was really cool. Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, look, could we do a plot, well, a beat-by-beat plot analysis of this film? Yes. Yes, we could.
Yes.
We could. And honestly, it would be good fun. But we would be here for another, let me check my watch. Yeah, probably another hour or two. Who wants that? We're already stretching the limits of people's patience, I'm sure. So let's rack our brain and figure out maybe some last minute thoughts on things, and maybe touch on anything that needs to be touched upon. So do you have anything, or should I rattle a few things off and then we'll go from there, and maybe that'll do it for our coverage, our spoiler coverage of Batman.
Snippets for me. Snippets include awesome Batmobile.
Yep.
Awesome perspective of a different perspective of Batman that we've never received in proper live action. I think that it was dark. It was compelling. It felt real. And the world felt like a lived-in place. I think it was well-directed. I think it was well-acted. I think critically, from a technical standpoint, I think you could not have a more well-done Batman. I really do think it is the most complete package of Batman that we've ever received. Like, it was very, very well done. And I appreciate the year 2 Batman perspective that they put on it. It's not the be all end all Batman. It's not he's just trying to make a difference, and that's pretty much the perspective he took. I'm trying to make a difference. It's what I'm trying to do. And I'm not going to cross the lines to make it. He was a no apologies kind of Batman, which is what Batman is. He's no apologies. This is what I stand for. This is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm going to do. And I think it was everyone attached to this project understood what all the characters meant, understood who the characters were, and they portrayed them in such a way to where they felt real and very well fleshed out, and they did not betray the source material of the characters. I think it's an excellent character piece. I think it's technically incredibly well made, and I really do think that this is the best, critically best Batman movie that's ever been made. I think it's incredible.
High praise.
So that's all I got.
All right. Well, here are my few last scattered thoughts before we conclude our coverage of the Batman. I liked that they didn't totally shit on Thomas Wayne. I think there's a big aspect of leaning into he's not exactly what he seems, blah blah blah. And obviously there's kind of a big wrinkle in terms of Falcone's involvement with like a potential reporter and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I thought that they were going to do the Joker thing, and I mean the Joaquin Phoenix, apologies, Joker thing of you know, Thomas Wayne's a real shitbag, asshole, fuckface, and it kind of leaned into that for a second, and then it kind of pulled back a little bit, of just being like, yeah, he made a mistake, but he's not like a huge piece of shit or anything like that. Which actually brings me to the second thing that I'm thinking about. We haven't really talked about Andy Serkis's Alfred. What was your take on him? Did you enjoy his performance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I think it was a very good Alfred.
Okay.
That's all I got on that.
All right. I was just curious. I you know, I think like, you know, like Michael Caine's Alfred, I think is very iconic, and I really actually enjoyed Jeremy Irons' Alfred. Andy Serkis, I feel like they had a lot more of a cold relationship between Bruce and Alfred here, and I think you kind of saw the melting of that a little bit towards the end as they kind of had the heart-to-heart in the hospital. For a moment, I'm just like, wait, did they just kill Alfred like 40 minutes into this fucking thing? And I'm just like, that feels bad and weird if they did that, but they didn't, so it's good. Everything's all good. But yeah, okay, all right. I was just curious on your take on that. I feel like that was kind of probably the one last like bit of casting that we really hadn't touched in any way. There were a few moments that when I watched it the first time didn't totally play as well as I think that they could have, and the second time most of those were like better. Like the first one is like when he does the fucking squirrel suit thing with the cape, and he jumps off like as he's, you know, the whole sequence is him getting like chased by police and like punching Gordon and everything. Like that was all fucking hilarious and awesome. But then the part where like he's like jumping off the building and he just fucking squirrel suits off, I thought it looked kind of goofy. And then, like, you know, he crashes and burns, and then he just walks it off. And the second time I didn't mind that so much. I thought it was like, all right, this is a Batman in training. It's a Bruce kind of figuring his shit out. He doesn't have like a magical, you know, spelunking glider thing that he can, be super great about this, or as graceful as he would probably like to be. So I didn't mind that so much. It was kind of fun, you know. Give him some proper bat wing gliders at some point in the future. But hey, if he's squirrel suiting about for a year or two, that's fine.
And it speaks of like his boldness, right? Like he almost ran off that roof. He's like, oh fuck.
Right, like, yeah, he had like a moment where he paused. Him just like, oh fuck, you know, like he was not ready for that particular moment, but he was kind of forced into it. He didn't really have a choice. He just
he just fucking did it.
Just got to do
committed.
It. Yeah,
full sin. And you know, he fucked up. Like he threw that parachute, but he survived. He went under the bridge.
Could have been a lot worse. So
I laughed my ass off when he did it.
That was
good.
Like,
that fucking guy. You know,
the only other thing, and I think this is probably the one thing that I think he actually on a second pass still didn't really need it. When the Riddler's captured, there's a whole third act, and then once everything wraps up with the third act, he has a conversation with another prisoner, if you recall.
Yes.
Which, as Matt Reeves has since identified, is in fact an incarnation of the Joker, who is not quite the Joker at this point, but will be at some point, you know, in a potential future. That to me was, I mean, I think it was one of the 3 or 4 endings that you got after, you know, the closing narration, where it's just like, okay, and one more thing, but also and another thing, and also actually after that other thing, here's one more thing. That to me was the one thing that could have probably it could have been left on the cutting room floor. I don't know. Dude, what would you think about that?
I agree with you. Like,
right.
I didn't need that. It could have at the very least been like a post-credit sequence. Like I didn't need it.
It felt post-creditsy, but like obviously there wasn't like a post-credits thing in this. So it was kind of, you know, it's not even so much like setting up Riddler's return or even the Joker's appearance. It was trying to be a more of a world building thing, I think, but it just, you know, I don't know. I just in a movie that's already, you know, bordering on 3 hours long, it kind of felt like, all right, it's a fun thing that could be fun for fans that might enjoy it, but do we need this? Does it really serve any sort of actual purpose for these characters? I don't know. So, I don't know. I guess we can leave it at that, right? You know,
Yeah, watch it. At the very least, watch
Yes,
it. And
and,
then
you
if
know,
you have an
and-
opinion,
Yeah.
give us your opinion.
Happy to have a conversation on other things that we failed to mention, forgot to mention, because, as I flagged, it's been a little while for both Andrew and myself since our last viewing, whether it was our first viewing or not, before recording this. So there are probably some more specific details that are escaping our attention at the current moment in time. But I feel like we've had a really, really good comprehensive conversation, certainly on the film itself, non-spoiler wise, and we've hit on some of the bigger things that stuck out to us spoiler wise. So as you heard already, very yes for the Batman. Check it out in theaters when you can, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So yeah, highly recommended from both of us. So before we get into catching up with each other, I do want to do an edition of the Listener's Corner, if you would oblige me.
Yes.
So we actually have some recorded thoughts that we're gonna drop in the episode right now from Enrique Jaime, who's actually working tonight, and so was not able to join us for the recording of the Batman. Probably for the best. It would have been a 4 to 5 hour episode or split into 2 episodes. So it's just one long episode now. But Enrique was nice enough to record his thoughts on the Batman. So why don't you take a listen to those now and see where he stands relative to us.
All right. Hey guys. So I knew that you'd be recording your own episode on the Batman, and I wanted to throw in and sprinkle my thoughts on Listener's Corner edition. But I'm interested to hear all that you have to say. I assume you both liked it, but I want to listen to this episode and see to what extent and everything. I got to say that I really enjoyed the Batman, and I guess I went in with pretty high expectations, but it delivered on all those expectations, honestly. I've only seen it once. It is a 3-hour movie, and we just have a lot of stuff going on. So I would like to, it's not streaming either. So I got to go back in theaters and park my butt in there, but I'd love to go back and watch it again. I'd be curious to see how a lot of the elements play out on a second viewing. There's probably a lot of things that you can appreciate more the second time you watch it. But I also wonder if you already know kind of where the mystery is going, if it's still as interesting. I think probably, but I can swing back in after I've seen it a second or even third time. But fantastic. Matt Reeves did everything he was going to do, and we got a gritty, dark detective story. We got the Pattinson. I thought Robert Pattinson was great. I don't want to hear any slander anymore on Robert Pattinson. Dude is a fantastic actor. Zoe Kravitz absolutely killed it. Just awesome Catwoman. She just had this grittiness and this edge that I haven't seen in other Catwomen. And man, the chemistry those two had on the screen was insane. Just like every time they're like looking at each other, getting up close, I'm like, oh god, like what's gonna happen here? And when we left, I actually looked up to see if they were dating, because I was convinced. I'm like, oh, these two are definitely dating in real life. There's no way they have this much chemistry on screen, but they're not, and that's just good acting, I guess. Like, fantastic. Wow. Everyone else was great though. Like Paul Dano as not the Joker, as the Riddler, and the unrecognizable Penguin in this. Just everyone was great. I really liked it. There's only one bad thing that I can say about the movie, and it's the inclusion of the Joker. It just feels out of place. It feels sequel baity, but also the director has said it's not. So I'm like, why is it here? And he mentioned that he cut it out initially and then put it back in. And I don't know. I just didn't need it. And we just had so many Jokers recently. And I don't think anyone's going to ever top Heath Ledger. I've heard people say that he almost like ruined the role. And obviously Joaquin Phoenix was really good, but that was a different iteration of Joker. Didn't include any Batman. And we don't need to get into Jared Leto. But I like the actor a lot, like Barry Keoghan. I think he actually is a great fit for a Joker. I just hope he's not the main villain in the next movie. I wouldn't mind, honestly, if he's included. Maybe even as like a Hush type storyline, but I think it would be cool if he was included, that he's still in Arkham. He's not out, and Batman has to go talk to him and talk to the Riddler to get information. But I really hope he's not the main villain for the next movie. Maybe later on, but give Joker a break. Like, this Batman has a huge rogues gallery, so pick somebody else. Hell, do a new Mr. Freeze that's serious now, or something like they did with the Riddler. So overall, fantastic movie. It's a dark movie, I gotta say. So there were a lot of kids in my screening for this, and I don't know. It's not. I know it's Batman, but it's not really a kid-friendly movie. If you ask me, should I bring my 5-year-old to watch this movie? I'd probably say not. It's very dark and a lot of mature themes, whatever you want to call them, but it's scary too. Like, there's a serial killer, and there's like hostage scenes and murder. And I know kids are used to violent ass video games, but this is dark. This is a true PG-13. So, maybe wait till your kids are a little bit older to show them this. But yeah, really love the Batman. Can't recommend it enough. Definitely one of the top of 2022 thus far. I'm sure we can talk more about what I've been up to in some other time, because I have some other things I wanted to shout out. But Batman was great. 2 thumbs up.
So there you go. Enrique's thoughts on the Batman. I mean, we've got, we did our episode 200. We did our episode 200 where we talked about our 5 favorite television shows, which is very exciting. We tried to put out, kind of a feeler for people to send in their favorite shows. Maybe if we could get some additional recommendations, but we only got a couple, as it turns out. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in Anna's favorite TV shows, Anna Mattis's favorite TV shows. She gave me 4 locks for sure favorite TV shows, so I'm going to shout them out now. So listen up and listen closely. Her 4 for sure favorites are Lost, MASH, Chuck, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I think Avatar is the only one that we actually talked about on episode 200. The other 3 are ones that we haven't talked about. We definitely didn't talk about on those on that episode. Lost is one I haven't seen, except for I think the pilot, technically, because I think she showed it to me once upon a time. MASH I definitely haven't finished, but is very, very funny, very entertaining. And I think it's on Hulu right now, so you can check it out there. And that's like that's old. That's going old school there. And then Chuck, for anyone that's followed along with the podcast, is something that I started watching because of Anna, and finished, I would say, relatively recently. Within the past half year to a year, roughly speaking. And it's very good, very good. And it was on Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video, last I checked. So that's definitely recommended. Avatar: The Last Airbender, I believe, is on Netflix. We've actually been watching it on the Blu-ray, and I'll get to that shortly. But it's a really, really good show so far. Her like maybe number 5, and she wasn't like super committal to it, so I don't want to throw it in as a total lock for number 5. Was Ugly Betty, actually, which I know she's rewatching right now. So those are some favorite TV shows from Anna, and Enrique actually has even more things to say on the TV front. So he was kind enough to record some of his thoughts on some TV shows that are his favorites, and so why don't you guys take a listen to that?
All right, and I wanted to get my top 5 in, or I guess my favorite 5 TV shows of all time after listening to the last episode. And of course, I'm not going to keep it short. I'm going to throw in a bunch of honorable mentions, but I'm going to try to keep it to ones that I don't recall you mentioning on the podcast. So here we go. I like anime. I got to throw out some anime. And Neon Genesis Evangelion is fantastic. Just quintessential anime. It's pretty dark. It has biblical tones to it. Actually, if you all like devs, which I know you did, I'd recommend you check out this show because it actually has a lot of similarities. And it's only one season, and it's actually on Netflix. There's some movies to close it out afterwards, but it's fantastic. So go check that out. And I gotta shout out Pokemon. Pokemon we all watched it. It's just great. Like, I go back and watch it still. I haven't kept up with the new stuff, but the original animated series is great. I love Pokemon to this day, and I still watch it. So shout out to Pokemon, honorable mention. One that I've mentioned before that I'm not sure if you two have watched yet, but you really have to, is What We Do in the Shadows, a TV show. It has the same spirit and comedy from the movie with different characters, and there's some cameos in there. 2 seasons so far, and a 3rd one coming out pretty soon, I hope. It's great, and I can't wait to see where the next seasons go, because both have been really strong. It's honestly hilarious television. And what else is hilarious and also very heartwarming is Ted Lasso, the new king of the Emmys, it seems like. And I think it's worth it. Honestly, it's one of the best TV shows out right now. First 2 seasons are so strong. Some people said the first one's stronger than the second one, and I probably would agree with that, but I think season 2 has a lot of high highs and just really great moments. And with all the dark, gritty things out, including the Batman and other TV shows, this is such a heartwarming show to go back to and watch. It's great. Like, it will make you feel better and give you hope in mankind again. So if you're in need of a pick-me-up, I definitely recommend Ted Lasso. And another good sitcom that had a short run, but I'm surprised you didn't shout it out, Colton, was The Good Place. 4 seasons. Honestly, I thought 4 all really good seasons. Some difference in quality here and there, and I wasn't sure where they were going to go after the first season, but I think the rest of the seasons earned their stay, and it actually knew how to end, so you got to give it props for that. The Good Place was really good. I really recommend that. One TV show that I can't say is like the greatest TV show of all time, but I really enjoyed it at the time was Spartacus over on Starz. And it's a violent, gruesome, gory, sexualized TV show, but it's fun, and at the time I remember it really inspired me to work out more too. There's great exercises and workouts on men's health inspired by Spartacus, and they obviously had to go different ways because the main actor had cancer and then eventually died, but I think everyone overall was great in it, and I really enjoyed that show. A lot of fun. So with I don't think you mentioned this, but with the Star Wars getting into TV now, we can't forget about the original Space Voyager TV show, and that's Star Trek. So I didn't watch a lot of the original Star Trek, but I did watch quite a bit of Star Trek Next Generation. So that's the one I'm going to shout out. It's just the crew is great. The writing I think is really wonderful and different, and has a couple episodes where it really is a think piece. So I haven't seen every single episode, but anytime it's on, I'll definitely put on Next Gen, and I should probably go and check out Picard and some of these new Star Trek shows, but there's just so many out there. It's just got to find time for it. Another show that I enjoyed at the time, I watched only 2 seasons, I believe. I know they went further and had to change some things because the main actor is a problematic guy, Kevin Spacey, but the first 2 seasons when I watched it, House of Cards, I did enjoy it. It is a political drama, and obviously set in Washington DC, and I was moving to DC at the time, so I was very excited to see what I recognize and things like that. So I'm not gonna necessarily say go check it out, but I enjoyed it at the time, and that's all I'll say. So now for the real honorable mentions that just probably missed my top 5, at least ones that you didn't mention already, was the Spectacular Spider-Man, the animated TV show. It's just great. I know we talked about it on one of the Spider-Man episodes before, but it's just one of my favorite iterations of Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy and the villains, and I love it so much. I wish they had kept it going for more seasons, because the Spider-Man TV shows that I've seen afterwards have not been as good, and you gotta show me something good for me to get back into the animated Spider-Man train. So I miss you, Spectacular Spidey. I miss you. The other one that I think is fantastic TV is Atlanta. We have 2 seasons. It's been a while, but season 3 is coming out this year, and I'm pumped. It's the last season, so when it's all said and done, this might be in my top 5. We gotta see. But it's just, there's nothing else on television quite like it. Like, I really can't think of anything. It just has this magical realism aspect, and Donald Glover's mind is so crazy, and the actors have all now gone on to do really big projects and now are coming back to do this. So I'm really excited to see how it concludes, and this might be in my top 5. So check back in later. And now, okay, actually getting into what my top 5 are, and I'm not going to put these in order, so I'm just going to start. But if there is an order, this is probably towards the bottom, but I did include Game of Thrones. I did. And it's because the ending was terrible. The ending was trash. Yes. But when it was good, it was really great. And I was so invested into the show. And I think I can still separate a little bit of the parts that I enjoyed from the parts that I didn't. I will say if it had ended well, it would be my top number 1 favorite TV show of all time, because I think when it was good quality, it was best. It was some of the best TV show material there was, and it definitely at the time was my favorite TV show. So, it's fallen, but I'm gonna still include it, and I would go back to Westeros and Essos and that, so I'll probably check out this new TV show. If George R. R. Martin ever decides to write another damn book again, I'll check that out, but I'm not holding my breath out for that much longer. So, you already mentioned Daredevil, so I don't need to get into it, but I also have Daredevil in my top 5, Colton. It's just fantastic. I want to go back and rewatch it, I guess now on Disney Plus, now that they moved it over, but I love Daredevil. It's so gritty, and the Batman actually reminds me a lot of Daredevil on Netflix, so it's great. It's in my top 5. So some sitcoms. Community. I love Community. The first 2 seasons are some of the best comedy on TV ever, period. And we got 6 whole seasons total, but it was a very tumultuous production. It's canceled and picked up and all these things, and we haven't gotten the 6 seasons in a movie that we were promised, but maybe just leave it at that. But I still really enjoyed it, and for those first 2 seasons alone, I highly recommend it. It has a place in the top 5, my top 5. Parks and Rec is actually a show that ended really well. I thought it started off slow, but when it hit its stride, it just kept going. And we got, I believe, 7 seasons of it. And season 7 actually ended really well. It's one of the few sitcoms that had a good ending, and I think better than The Office, frankly. And I think overall for me, it is better than The Office, and I guess that's an honorable mention. But Parks and Rec is kind of quintessential sitcom for me, especially like the modern day. But lastly, Dragon Ball Z. What can I say? Everybody knows it. Everybody's probably seen some of it. Anyone that grew up in the 90s or 80s at least. But there's memes about it now. There's jokes and whatever. But it was like the quintessential anime. It was on Toonami every day. And it really brought anime over to Western culture. And it was definitely one of the things that got me into anime. But I still love it to this day. Some of the arcs are just fantastic. Like the Frieza arc, the Cell arc. And it's just, I love it. And, Super was a good sequel, and I really wanted to come back. So, but for everything that it did and for what it inspired me, Dragon Ball Z has a special place in my heart and in my top 5. So, top 5 was Game of Thrones, Daredevil, Community, Parks and Recreation, and Dragon Ball Z.
And so there you have it. Some more television show recommendations from Enrique Jaime, who will be joining us, I'm sure, before long. I mean, Moon Knight's right around the corner, right? So we'll have some more Marvel goodness to catch up on before long. But yeah, there you go. There is another edition of the Listener's Corner, a fun edition with some recorded inputs and me dropping some things in the middle or whatever. But yeah, that brings us to the next part of the podcast where I ask Andrew what he has been up to lately. It's been a couple weeks since we recorded, so surely he's been up to a few things here and there. What do you got for us?
I watched last night.
You watched a movie, didn't you?
Let me start from the beginning.
All right. Take it away.
I have been renovating the man cave. I think this has been a subject for a while. I know that everybody that is close to me is tired of hearing about the goddamn man cave.
It's an ongoing project.
This. It's an ongoing project, and I feel really, really, really good about it. So I tell everybody that's close to me
there's been
all
a
the
lot
time,
of good
everyone
progress
loves
that's
it.
been made. So, I mean, what's the latest on it? Tell us about it.
My furniture that I ordered from Amazon has come in. I built the bookshelf. Building furniture from Amazon takes about twice as long as building furniture from IKEA.
Okay.
I will not buy furniture from. I will not buy furniture from Amazon ever again. But it does look pretty swanky when it's in here. I think it'll look good when it's done. I've got a bookshelf now, which is cool. I've got a carpet coming in from Ruggable. It's a Star Wars themed rug, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Is it the X-Wing one?
It's not the X-Wing one. It's
Okay.
the TIE Fighter one.
TIE Fighter one. Okay. We almost went for the X-Wing one once upon a time, but we didn't do it. We didn't do it. That's pretty fucking cool.
So essentially, that I ordered a runner. Essentially, if you look at the
okay.
rugs, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I ordered a runner to essentially run from. It'll run the length of that wall that's by the door,
right.
Which
Cool.
will be the length
Cool.
of the furniture. So it'll be pretty cool. What else did I do? Oh, I watched a movie last night called Tick Tick Boom. I should have watched it last year because it definitely would have made.
I've been talking about it.
It would have definitely made a appearance in my top movies of last year if I would have watched it. But I did not. Anyways, it's an absolutely incredible movie. I've been talking about it all day. The music, it's directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Oh, fuck.
That was pretty close. You got the Lin-Manuel part. That's usually the part that trips me up the most, I feel like.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
That's the man. That's him.
He is just an incredible freaking dude, man.
He's talented,
so
man.
good.
He's just so fucking talented.
He's always writing, and the things that he writes is just incredible. This is his directorial debut. It is a huge get for Netflix. It's an incredible movie. If you have not seen it and you have a tendency to like musicals, or you can at least appreciate them, this is a movie that it's an excellent movie. It's an excellent musical, instant classic. It's so good. And about a historical figure for the genre. Like it's an important movie to be made. Like it's so good. Which really sets him apart. Like he's not only making good musicals and good content, like he's making important shit all the time. This guy is. He's like, history will look back on Lin-Manuel very favorably. Like he is just an important character for modern pop culture. Like he's just an important dude. He's telling important stories and he's telling them very well. Inspirational guy. I can't give him enough praise. And this movie was absolutely incredible. Moving forward, I started Elden Ring in the man cave. I've got a PS4 mounted underneath my computer desk.
Very nice.
And I just turn it on, and it's kind of a pain in the ass because like I had to buy a thing to like let my headphones hook up to the PS4. But I did do it, and it's working. Either way, it's pretty cool. Now I got a PS4 attached to a monitor arm monitor, and it seems to be working pretty good. And I'm playing Elden Ring, which is, I really enjoy some Dark Souls stuff. It's like real, what do you call it? Like it's self-indulgent, like it's an indulgent experience playing a Soulsborne game. You just take your time and make your way through it and get good because it's going to kick your ass. And it's just cool the way the storytelling works and everything else. Like it's not handholdy, and
you get as much from it as you put into it, and it's a really cool experience playing these kinds of games. And I think this is like the penultimate, like it's like the ultimate version of a Souls game. Like it feels like everything that they've ever, everything that they've been building up to as a studio is present in this game. It's a really cool storytelling thing. So it's really cool. Other than that, I think that's about it.
All right. That's what he's got. All right. Well, let me rattle off some things that I have watched. Mostly movies, actually. I think it's quite imbalanced here. 4 movies and half of a TV show. Or half of a season of TV show, I should say. And the movies are going to fucking bounce all over the place. I watched The Aristocats, a 1970 American animated romantic musical comedy film on Disney Plus, which was very entertaining. I think growing up, I must have had the VHS for this, and I don't know if I'd actually watched it. You know, I have 2 older brothers, 5 and 7 years older than myself. I don't know. Maybe they enjoyed this when they were younger. I don't know what it was, but like when I watched it, I was just like, I don't really remember any of this. So I either watched it when I was very young, or I didn't watch it at all. I couldn't quite tell you. But it was very fun, is what I can tell you now. The 2 dogs were very funny to me. Napoleon and Lafayette, 2 fucking French dogs. Very good. But also, I mean, the cats were fun too, and just O'Malley, and I don't know. It was fun. I'll say it was fun. I will say, as a hot take. Not an actual hot take, but just a solid Disney movie from decades ago that was just very entertaining and very fun. Go figure. The one that I think is, well, I'm really going to go back and forth between like genres and stuff here, but the next film I watched is a film that's nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture. And so, Andrew, if you're listening, you should really pay attention to this. This is on Apple TV Plus. It's a film called CODA, and I believe Enrique told us about it as well. He may have written it on a past episode, I think, if I'm not mistaken, talking about it. And I think actually my dad on a previous Listener's Corner recommended it. It's basically CODA stands for, I think, Children of Deaf Adults, and so. Basically, this is a film where there's 2 parents who are deaf. They have a son who's deaf, and then they have a daughter who is able hearing. And so it's basically about her. She's kind of the central character that the film focuses on, about her life of living with a entirely deaf family, but also going through life as someone who can hear. And basically, her passion is singing. Which obviously creates some tension and conflict for her family who can't really understand it and sympathize with her desire to like go sing. And it's a film that I think like the story is not something that's like crazy out of bounds that you've never seen before, but it's done in a way that you've never seen before, and it's really, really profound and really, really emotional. I was really, really emotionally affected by it and watching it. I thought it was just really, really fucking well done. And it stars Marlee Matlin, who I talked about earlier, for not great reasons. But yeah, it's a really, really incredible film. I would highly recommend that you watch it on Apple TV Plus.
Will it make me cry?
If it makes you cry, it's not because of sadness. It's because of just like pure emotionality. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll probably make me cry then.
Yeah,
I'll probably cry.
I mean, maybe there might be some tears. There might be some tears. There's a if I had, I mean, I don't know if I would change anything necessarily, but the dad in this movie. He's fucking incredible. Like to me, like he is one of the ones that like brings the emotionality in this film. Like his relationship with his daughter, like just particularly towards the end when they're kind of have a moment of understanding between the two of them. Like that's probably when the waterworks come. That's not really like spoilerific to say, but that's when I would predict that they would come. And it's just a really, really well done. It feels very grounded and realistic and relatable. And everyone is just really fantastic. The actor who plays the father, I believe, is Troy Kotzer, who's a deaf actor, who I haven't seen in anything before, but he was really, really good. I think he's nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars, which are just around the corner, week or so away. Really, really, really great supporting actor performance. So I'm like actively rooting for him to win the Oscar for that. But I would recommend that you watch CODA. It's really, really fucking good. It really is.
Fair enough.
It's good. You know, you took my advice. You heeded my advice for Tick, Tick, Boom. You've got plenty of other things that you can watch. There's plenty of games you can play, far more Elden Ring than you've played before. But once upon a time, if you can find time, watch CODA because it's on Apple TV Plus. I think you have that. I think it would be a good watch. You don't have to do it just on your own. I think Sarah would enjoy it too. So you can wait for that. I watched. Have you seen the film called fucking Christ, The Pacifier with Vin Diesel?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
I've seen that a couple times.
Okay.
You've never seen that movie before?
I watched it for the first time.
It's pretty fucking ridiculous.
It's pretty fucking ridiculous, but it was fun. I will say.
It's pretty shit.
Look, here's what I'll say. I don't know.
What
that
made
it's a
you?
good film.
What made you watch that movie?
I'll let you take a guess at it if you want. Anna's seen it before, and she enjoys it.
It's like national treasure for me, I guess.
Right.
I like some national treasure.
It's like not like a quote unquote good film, but it's so fucking ridiculous that there's absolutely some entertainment to be mined from it. And mind you, we were definitely drinking when we put it on in the first place. I was sober as shit when I watched the last hour of it because we were like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Vin Diesel's kind of he's entertaining. I like him when he's, you know, being fucking ridiculous and this sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie, but like, if you're drunk and like you're wanting to be entertained, like, fine. It's totally it's totally fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
You know, you could look. I had fun with it. All right, I'm just gonna say it. I had fun with it. So there you have it with The Pacifier. It's on Disney Plus. If you need a drunken movie to watch, you could do worse. Maybe you could do better, but you could do worse. You could do worse. You know, that's the key point. I watched my favorite film of all time, Zodiac, because I think that it shares a lot of commonalities with the Batman, with the Riddler in particular, and because Anna and I got caught up in a conversation about our favorite movies of all time, which was probably stemming from our favorite television shows of all time, and then somehow we ended up on Zodiac, and then we just spent a whole evening watching almost 3 hours of Zodiac, which I would recommend that you listen to episode 100, in which I probably have a lot more extensive thoughts about Zodiac, as it is indeed my favorite film of all time. But certainly what I will say right now for this episode is if you liked the Batman and you found the Riddler to be a compelling villain, well, what do you know it? The Zodiac Killer is also a compelling quote-unquote villain / real-life serial killer. Zodiac's a really, really great film. Mentioned it earlier, obviously, in the context of talking about David Fincher stuff, as it compares to the Batman. In my assessment, it's Fincher's finest. It's got some really, really great performances in it, and it's got a really, really great, interesting mystery in it, which is obviously a real-life unsolved case, which
I think it got solved.
The ciphers have been solved, but we still don't definitively know who the Zodiac Killer is.
Oh, for real? So shit.
So there are strong suspects who fit the bill, but no one was ever convicted. No one was ever, definitively tied to it. So to this day, it remains unsolved. But obviously, people can come to their own conclusions. And indeed, Zodiac as a film, I think, pretty definitively comes to its own conclusion in terms of assessing who's who. So
that fucking guy. It's that fucking guy.
It's that fucking guy is correct. It is that fucking guy. Probably. It's probably that guy. But yeah, it's a great film. Highly recommend it. Good watch. It may be streaming somewhere, but I don't know where. So apologies, but Google's good. Last but not least, I'm halfway through book 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I just got through the Day of the Black Sun, whatever it is, where they plan their invasion when the firebenders are going to be powerless because of the eclipse.
Oh yeah.
And spoilers, things don't go as planned because the Fire Lord has an underground bunker, and Azula distracts them for long enough. They can't quite make it there, and they got to live to fight another day. But they let Katara and Sokka's dad gets captured, along with some other folks that had been helping. So it's a
good episode.
It's a good episode, that's for sure. But it's not quite the end result they desired. Granted, I was just like, shit, there's still half the season left. I assume they don't win here. Otherwise, what the fuck's the rest of the season about? But when you're watching it as it's airing and stuff like that, it might be a pretty shocking revelation. Anyway, Avatar is fantastic. It was a good episode. Yet another in a things not quite going Aang's way, but it seems like Zuzu is ready to help the Avatar, which is pretty fucking exciting. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens in the next 10, 11 episodes or whatever it is to finish up the series. So that's what I have. That's what I have for what I've been up to, and I think we can wrap it up there. What do you think?
I just have one thing to say. We haven't said it in the past two. I think the past episode or the past 2 episodes.
All right. What do you have?
And it's kind of like it's kind of like a no joke kind of thing.
Okay. All right. I don't know where you're going, but I'm listening.
Kind of serious.
Kind of serious. All right. Serious faces on. I'm ready. What do you have?
Like, we take a stance on a lot of like modern events. Like we inherently, like we don't talk about them like a whole lot, but we do take stances frequently on like morally correct things, right? And currently Russia is kind of all up in Ukraine.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking Russia, dude.
So
what the fuck?
Is our stance that Putin's a fucking piece of shit that has no business being in Ukraine? Is that where we're going? Is that where we're going?
That's
right
our
now?
stance. I'm going to speak on behalf of the podcast and say fuck Putin. What the fuck are you doing?
All right.
Like, why are you making your constituents come in there and kill these people? And they don't want to kill these people. They don't want to fight a war with these people. And you're making them go in there and do that shit. And man, it's not a good deal. And it's a terrible thing. And heart, the leader of Ukraine, Zelensky. Yes. What could we do with a leader like Zelensky in America? Right? Like, I think he's the president everybody wants in everyone's country. Like, he's the dude. He's the fucking guy, dude.
I mean, in the face of a relentless,
like he's in touch with art.
I mean, he's doing everything in his power to
he's
just
the fucking guy.
To keep control, to keep people calm, to just say fuck you when fuck you needs to be said. I mean, yeah.
What a fucking leader.
Yeah.
He will go down in history
really
as being
what he's
the
doing
fucking
right now.
guy. Yes. He's, man, staring down the barrel of fucking Russia and saying fuck you, and everyone saying fuck you with him. You know what I mean? On top of that, he's also like he was a part of before he was an actor, before he became the leader of, Ukraine. So he's a really inspirational guy. And it's been the topic of every discussion that I have every single day, is Russia. And it's,
It's sad, but at the same time, it feels refreshing in a sort of like kind of weird way. Like, there's no debate about it, right? It doesn't matter who you talk to. Everyone feels the same way. Like, it's a uniting thing, you know? And in that sense, it feels very refreshing to talk to people that have, like, different viewpoints about politics and this and that. And there's no, you don't have an argument. It's uniting. Like, it brings people together. Yes, this is wrong, and everyone is against it. Yeah. So if I don't know if people listen to our podcast in Ukraine or Russia or anything. Oh, I think
probably not in Russia anymore.
We did have that one podcast about the Russian spy. What was it? It was that really shitty movie. Oddly enough,
Red Sparrow.
Yes, Red Sparrow. Oddly enough, it was a movie about a Russian spy. It was real shit. Imagine that.
Probably got a lot of lessons in Russia. Then they're like, "What are they saying about us? Can we recruit them?" No, I don't think so.
Anyways, our name's not Tucker. Anyways, yeah, it was yeah. It's all I got. Fucking Ukraine, keep dishing it out.
Yeah, I mean, keep fighting the fight. You know, it's
keep fighting the fight.
It's a fucking awful position that obviously their country, that those their people have been put in. But you fight oppression, and I think they're doing everything in their power to push back against just a completely uncalled for invasion. It's just it's insanity right now. Yeah. I think we can safely say we stand with Ukraine in this conflict. I mean, just
is there any does anyone anywhere? I mean, I guess if you're sort of like the 8 people that voted against economic sanctions against them or whatever, I mean, short of those people, if you're not on payroll, I should say, if you're not on payroll, you should not have an issue with saying, what the fuck are you doing, Russia? Right?
Yeah, that's awful. It really is.
In the 21st century, this shit is happening in the 21st century. That's the scariest part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it makes a movie like Oppenheimer vastly more interesting, right? Because we haven't been exposed to this sort of stuff.
Right. We're coming up on a century of, well, World War I particularly, but even World War II is we're getting there. In our life,
we're getting there.
We'll
a
get
century
there.
of peace, or not peace, but of no global conflict. Largely, you know what I mean. Like
Nothing
we've had
like
our
that.
conflicts. Nothing like that. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Anyways, so that's the last thing I've got.
All right. Well, fair enough. It's a good thing to talk about. It's a good thing to speak up on. I think it's a worthy thing to chime in on. So I think that does it, though. I think we've got plenty on this episode between many fun facts, lots of news, lots of the Batman, lots of other things. Listener's Corner, catching up, Russia, Ukraine. So I'll say thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please spread the word. We're on Patreon at patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat. If you want to chip in a couple bucks to get early access to all of our regular episodes, as well as timed exclusive access to all of our future bonus episodes that we work on at some point. Our website is watchreviewrepeat.com. You can get links to our latest episodes as well as to our social media accounts. We are, let's see if I can get this right. We are on Twitter at WRRPod. Follow us there. We are on Facebook. Just search for Watch Review Repeat, and you can like our page. We're also on Instagram at Watch Review Repeats. Trying to make our Instagram presence a little bit more prominent, but struggling so far. So please give us a follow there, and we'll follow you back. We're not picky. We'll follow you back. That's fine. Questions, comments, or suggestions. Let's say you have some thoughts on the Batman, or you have thoughts about anything else that you've been up to, anything you've seen, or anything like that. Send those our way. Watch, review, repeat at gmail.com. We would be happy to talk about that on a future edition of the Listener's Corner. Our intro and outro track is Mechanolith by Kevin MacLeod over at incompetech.com, licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. What are we going to do for our next episode? So we kind of skipped over Uncharted. I don't think Andrew's going to see it in theaters at this point. TVH. I might do it. I might take the plunge, and we can talk about it on a catching up in a future episode. But I think the next thing that we maybe could do is maybe Turning Red, which is the next Pixar film, and that is streaming from the comfort of your own home on Disney+. So no theater visit is required. I feel like that's a pretty decent selling point, and it's got very good reviews as well. So maybe we'll do Turning Red. What do you think about that? Does that seem appealing to you? You up for that? A little Pixar goodness. She turns into the big bear and big spooky.
I can watch that shit tonight. Yes.
Yeah, you can watch it tonight. You can do what you want. But I think that would be a good one. I feel like it's stirring up a little controversy because, it's dealing with young girls and Canada, and Americans don't like women and they don't like Canadians. So apparently that's controversial for some fucking reason.
What?
But,
I had no idea about controversy about this shit.
Well, I think one of the girls has a period at one point in the film, and that's
God, no
deeply
way.
upsetting for many people. So if you want to continue this conversation, I guess we'll just have to do that after we see the film and see how upsetting a girl having her period is. Because oh God, yucky. Apparently,
yucky.
Anyway, most people suck. I think that's the bottom line. I think as we've established.
Yeah.
And also, in particular, Vladimir Putin. Also a real shitbag.
He fucking sucks.
Also a real shitbag.
What's he doing? That guy.
All right.
Anyways, I'm done. I'm done talking about it. I can't talk about it anymore. I get so upset about it.
All right. We'll give us the outro, and then we can call it a day.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Laters on the Mancave.